Good afternoon, everyone. A couple things. New angle change because I finally got my PC fixed and it's here and we're here. I'm sorry if it startled anyone. And also, my girlfriend was watching a documentary called Maternal Instinct. I didn't know that this was the video for it. So I clicked on it because I was gonna do this. But literally the title changed after I refreshed. It kind of messed my brain up. So I guess this is what we're doing today. The title is The Case of Taylor Parker. Everything Netflix left out in Maternal Instinct. The title before that was really insane. I don't know. Let's check this out and let's a bada boom and a bada bing. This is going to be kind of crazy because my girlfriend was literally telling me about the case. This timing is nuts, but let's go. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the host of this show are for authentic, honest, and entertaining purposes. Unless you don't think I'm entertaining. I repeat, this is my opinion. I am not telling you how or what to think or feel, but I do encourage you to speak your mind and have conversations. Just don't do too much. Also, this video is brought to you by Sebastine's Patreon, where you can access over 1,000 videos of exclusive content. If you want to subscribe and support this amazing community, click the link in the description below, and thank you for everything. Enjoy the video.
Bada bing, bada boo.
In New Boston, Texas, on October 9th,
Texas.
2020, two 911 calls are placed 40 minutes apart from one another.
Okay.
The first 911 call comes in 9:36 a.m. Friday morning.
Okay.
The second the dispatch officer picks up the line, there is screaming,
Oh my
crying on the
gosh.
other end. It's ear-piercing, high-pitched feral screams. The caller is screaming into the phone, "I have a state trooper behind me and I need an ambulance now."
Okay.
The state trooper behind the 911 caller was Trooper Shavers. He's driving around doing routine checks on the highway. He barely had time to finish his Friday morning coffee when he sees this small Toyota Corolla sedan just ripping it down the highway.
Oh, hell no.
This
What?
person is not even just speeding in their own lane. They're speeding onto oncoming traffic, just weaving between cars.
Oh.
We have no
what
idea
the
exactly
fuck?
how fast this Toyota was going, but it was fast enough for one, Trooper Shavers to start chasing after the car.
Right.
And two, for a hawk, the bird, the hawk, to be
hawk?
found stuck in the front bumper of the Toyota.
A hawk? What the hell? Okay.
Like the car ran into a bird? Like a
Yes.
big
But a
hawk?
hawk?
And it just dragged that hawk because it was driving so fast.
Oh my gosh.
We can assume it was going pretty fast.
I mean,
now,
yeah.
the car's hazard lights were on, and the car's just swerving around, almost killing a bicyclist at one point. Trooper
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You getting pulled over. I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh my gosh.
Shavers watched the Toyota nearly hit a massive pickup truck.
Damn.
He had no idea that that driver was on the phone with 911. Trooper Shavers turns on his siren and starts chasing after this Toyota, forcing the driver to pull over.
Right.
And as soon as these two cars are now parked on the side of the highway, a small hand shoots out from the window and is frantically waving for Trooper Shavers to come out of the car. He comes out the patrol car and he can hear the voice of a young woman screaming at 911. She's clearly panicked, clearly crying, yelling incoherently. Trooper Shavers is about to ask what's wrong, but before she can tell him, he gets to the car window, the driver's side,
Right.
and he sees it.
What?
The driver is covered in blood. There is
Oh.
blood all over her face, all over her clothes, and it's oozing from her snake print Crocs.
What?
And from the waist seam of her yoga pants. There is this long snake-like cord. It looks like a rope. It's honestly flesh-colored with splotches of blue, gray, red.
It's a fucking umbilical cord. Oh.
What the hell is that? His eyes follow the cord slowly down into her lap until he sees a tiny little foot.
Wait, what?
The cord is an umbilical cord, and it's
Wait.
attached to a newborn baby.
What the fuck?
Unlike the driver, the baby is silent. There are no cries, no screams. The driver is screaming at the trooper, like tears streaming down her face, begging him to put her and the baby in his car and help. Take her to Idabel. It's an emergency. Come on.
Okay.
When the trooper asks how old the baby is, the driver responds, the baby is only maybe 35 minutes old.
So
She
why?
just gave birth in the car?
Yes.
Oh
the
my
driver starts
gosh.
screaming, "You have to take me to the hospital in Idabel now!"
Bro, help.
Both the state trooper and the 911 dispatch officer, who's still on the phone, by the way, they're both confused for entirely separate reasons. The 911 dispatch officer clearly remembers the caller telling her, quote, "I'm having a baby," implying the baby was coming out while driving, but now she's overhearing that the baby had been out for the past 35 minutes? Why would the caller wait 35 minutes after birth to call 911?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. These are things where I like to listen more than talk because anything is possible when it comes to like childbirth and stuff like that. But my brain is trying to make sense of this.
The closest hospital around here are Titus Regional Medical Center and St. Michael's.
Okay.
They're both very big, prominent hospitals. Why would the driver request he drive her across state lines into Oklahoma and take her to Idabel, to a further hospital?
I don't know.
Trooper Shavers tries to tell her the best thing for the baby would be St. Michael's because it's the closest. But she's screaming at him, begging him that she cannot go there because they hurt her last baby.
Hurt her last baby?
And he looks down and he notices that the driver's hand in front of his face is shaking, trembling with fear, anxiety, and stress.
Okay.
But the other hand on her lap is completely still. As the driver, the silent baby, and Trooper Shavers waits on the side of the road for an ambulance, Amanda, a registered nurse, is driving down the highway and she notices them. And at first she's thinking, well, you know, the trooper's there, the police are there with the woman, it should be fine. But something in her gut is telling her they're probably waiting for an ambulance and it's life or death can be a matter of seconds.
How the hell do you even have that type of intuition? That is insane. Bro, what?
Amanda slams on her brakes, makes a U-turn. It's a two-way highway, so two-lane highway.
Okay.
She makes a U-turn, parks behind the cars, and goes straight to evaluate the baby. She runs out, and she's in full-on nurse mode.
Okay,
she's
come on.
Zeroed in on that baby. She runs straight for the baby.
Okay.
She gets smacked with a million questions running through her nurse mind.
Okay.
Normally, newborns are covered in blood and vernix, which is kind of this waxy white substance that coats the skin of newborn babies.
Oh, that's
Think of
what
it as
that's
like
called?
a protective coating, really.
Oh.
But the baby is clean. And the baby is a bit blue around the mouth with cold and clammy skin. Amanda's trying to remain calm, but this is a very, very bad sign.
Right.
Newborns should feel warm and they should have color pumping through their cheeks.
Right.
So she gets to work. She's checking for signs of breathing. She's putting her ear to the baby's mouth, listening. Nothing. Amanda went to give the baby 30 chest compressions.
Oh my
Done
gosh,
either
this
by
baby is
pressing the
gone.
thumb or 2 fingers over the baby's chest and pushing down like about 1.5 inches. It's such a delicate process. You can't push too hard because babies are fragile. You can't push too little because you could fail to pump the baby's blood.
Right.
Amanda kept performing CPR while the driver rocked nervously and screamed, "Come on, Clancy, come on!"
Come on. Wait, bro, why? Wait, hold on. This is a very stressful situation. You can't rush. You can't rush. This is a delicate situation.
I'm assuming Clancy is the baby's name.
Okay.
Finally,
Clancy?
the ambulance arrives.
Okay.
Paramedics rush the baby to the back of the ambulance, while Amanda and another EMT start asking the driver questions. I mean, they need to know as much about the birth as possible so they can provide the best care to mother and to baby. They turn to the driver and they say, "When were you due?" "The 30th. Oh, I get it. That makes sense, right? Because it's October 9th. The driver's due October 30th. She was clearly early and unable to get to the hospital in time.
Okay.
But the driver responds, "No, the 30th of September."
Huh?
Amanda and the EMT, they lock eyes.
What?
The baby was way too small. Way too small for that due date to be over a week ago. This could indicate a real medical problem for the child.
Okay.
The EMT asks, "And how did you end up giving birth in the car?" "I was at Walmart when I suddenly felt a lot of pressure in my stomach. I thought, well, this must be the baby. I'm already a week overdue, so I ran to the car and started driving as fast as possible to Idabel. But as I'm driving, I feel this need to push. So I started pushing and pushing until the baby popped out. That's when I called 911 and started screaming for help." The driver then asked the EMT, "Can I get this stuff off of me? I want this blood off of me."
Okay.
Amanda, the nurse, gives her a bottle of water to drink from and another to clean her face and hands.
I don't know too much about what's really going on. And when she gets to the end of this, I want to ask y'all a question.
And she's watching as the driver is cleaning her feet with water and a towel. And the driver looks like she's about to gag. And she keeps mumbling to herself, "She's all over me." During this process,
Who is
Amanda and the
she?
EMT both noticed just
Oh, hell no. Who is she?
how much blood there was. Like, way too much blood. Regular hospital births are already dangerous enough. She had just given birth in the car.
Right.
So the EMT, they ask to examine the driver. They use trauma scissors to cut the yoga pants off of her. And suddenly the placenta comes spilling out of her pants onto the floor of her car.
Okay.
When that happens, the driver looks at the EMT and pleads, "We have to go to Ida Bell. Nowhere else." She's bursting into tears, screaming, "Ida Bell, Ida Bell, Ida Bell."
Okay.
So they drive to the hospital. That's
Ida
about
Bell.
half an hour away, but the EMTs promise because they really have no other choice. They just need to make up for lost time. Like,
That's
they're
a
in the
long
back of this
time.
cramped ambulance. The EMTs don't even notice how much they're sweating.
That's kind of a long time, bro. I can't even imagine how crazy that, like, how slow it probably was on the way.
They are so focused on saving the baby.
Okay.
One of the EMTs, Kelly, she's on a different planet of focus. Kelly also lost a baby too, so she knows just how
I'm so
important it is
sorry.
to save this baby.
Right?
And then they feel it. The EMTs feel a heartbeat.
Okay.
She's alive.
Hey,
this means
okay.
the baby was not stillborn or dead before she was born. She had been born alive. She had taken her.
Oh, I'm dumb as shit. I thought, I'd never heard a girl's name Clancy. My bad. I'm sorry. I was like, who is she? Like, did she kill somebody to or something before she gave birth or something? Sorry. Stupid moment.
First breaths, and now, after she had been on the verge of death, she's fighting to live. When the ambulance arrives at McCurtain Memorial Hospital in Ida Bell, the staff burst into action. I mean, there's a baby that might die, a woman who could be dying, and Nurse Lori, she's wheeling the driver into the ICU.
Okay.
She's putting her fingers on the driver's stomach to feel her uterus. As a trained nurse, Lori can just tell by touching the outside of someone's stomach if the uterus is still bleeding and if the flow is dangerously heavy. She can kind of feel the pulsing.
Okay.
But she didn't feel anything. There was like nothing there. Lori's eyes widened and she turned to her colleagues in utter horror and she said, "That's not her baby."
Nigga, what?
10:15 a.m. The second 911 call arrives. The same dispatch officer picks up the call. It was a woman yelling into the phone, and she doesn't sound hysterical like the first caller was, but her voice sounds truly broken. And she's screaming, "Help me, my daughter has been murdered. There's blood everywhere. Oh my babies, oh my God." The energy of the entire ICU and even the 911 dispatch center, it felt frozen. Like, these two calls, they were no coincidence.
Right.
There was now a woman who gave birth on the side of the road. There were no signs of birth. The doctors even ran a pregnancy test that checks for the hormones your body produces during pregnancy. It came back negative for the driver. The nurses are seen whispering to each other, "She can't leave this hospital. She cannot leave."
Well, don't let her leave.
Is she trying to leave?
She's going to say she's going to. Oh, well, there's two in there. One is ours. That's what's ours.
Okay. Do not let her out that door.
They whispering it. Don't let her out,
So
bro.
everybody in the hospital, it's like it started with like confusion, and then it's like
Yes.
skeptical, and then it's like, no, she's not pregnant.
It actually started with just life-saving measures. And
Okay,
in the
that's good.
baby's room,
Right,
it's
that's
still
good.
life-saving measures. But even for the driver, it's like, we got to save her life. She's probably bleeding down there so much. Like,
Okay.
she just gave birth in the car.
Okay, well, that's good that they sprung into action.
And then it's kind of confusing. And then it goes into,
Yeah,
we
Oh.
are dealing with something very sinister here. Like, we cannot let this woman leave.
My lord, dude,
The
what?
driver cannot leave. That is what the nurses tell each other.
All right.
The driver claims that all the other tests that they ran, the pregnancy tests, they were all rigged. When the doctor urges her to do a vaginal exam, she initially refuses. And the
Rigged?
doctor turns to the other doctors in the room and states, if she did deliver, but before he can even finish the sentence, he's cut off by the driver. She's looking at him with this deadpan stare, no emotions, and she says, if I did deliver?
Yeah. What you
When
mean?
the driver was finally convinced to do a vaginal exam, the doctor left the room stating, it doesn't look like she had a baby. Does not look like she had a baby there. As the police officers arrive and are walking into the driver's hospital room,
Okay.
one of the doctors is leaving. And the doctor, looks at the officers and states, that woman definitely was not pregnant.
Just talk with the ER doctor. They took blood work, HCG levels, which is a hormone. It's not showing she was pregnant.
How the hell you rig?
And they're saying that the placenta, they can send the placenta off for test and whether it comes back to her or not. She won't let her do a vaginal exam to make sure she's not hemorrhaging. So she won't let her.
The officers walk in and they see the driver sitting on the hospital bed. It almost looks kind of like a throne. She's covered in blankets.
Taylor
She's
Parker.
got wires connected to her. She's propped up. And she goes through the same exact story. She acts surprised that the officers are here to hear about her Walmart almost road birth story. She had a baby on the side of the road. She seems confused as why the officers are questioning her. And she states that her baby's name is Clancy Gale. The officer straight up tells her, "You didn't give birth this morning."
Oh, fuck.
And she responds, beyond confused. What do you mean?
You didn't give birth.
You didn't give birth this morning.
Yeah.
And we want to know where that baby came from.
Yeah.
I just told y'all what happened.
But you didn't give birth this morning.
What do you mean?
What do you
So I
mean?
just said you didn't give birth this morning. And we want to know where this baby came from. So what happened?
I just told y'all what happened.
Okay. What's the doctor gonna find when he comes in and checks you? Is he gonna find you just gave birth? They can tell.
Bro, is she just like formulating a lie? Like, what the fuck?
When he looks, he can tell in about a second if you gave birth or not.
She said it was rigged, bro.
Okay.
Eventually, it dawns on her. The officers know that she's lying. Suddenly, her tears go away. I mean, the only emotion on her face is fear. And she states, "My head's been hurting. I had
Okay.
a stroke in 2015. I don't know why I did it.
What is
I
it?
don't know what's wrong with me because I've never been a bad person. I just really wanted the baby." And as the woman is saying this to all the officers, she has blood stains on her hands.
My
She's like
Lord.
blood seeped into her fingernail beds. And she's waving them around as she's talking. And authorities, they can't help but glance at them because they know by now it is not this woman's blood. It's somebody else's. This case would result in the youngest female inmate currently sitting on Texas death row.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Okay, the question I was gonna ask, how good is y'all's intuition? Like, how do you know something is like not right? And if there's like a percentage of like what you would do to spring into action, what is like the percentage of certain like situations where you would do something about it or you ignore it? Because the fact that this nurse had the gut feeling and she was like she was like driving, and the fact that she's a nurse, like, who's to say, like, I'm trying to think of the probability of her actually going to do something. This is I'm trying my hardest to compute what's going on. I'm sorry if I seemed a little bit stupid, but now that who is this she's all over me thing, that's like replaying in my head. Because what do you mean she ripped the baby out because she wanted it? Like, what type of shit is that?
We'd like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Their mission is to find missing children, reduce child sexual exploitation, and the prevention of child victimization. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team of dedicated researchers and translators while they focus on shedding light on stories from all over the world.
Okay.
We would also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates of these causes. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. And as with all cases, if there's anything miscommunicated or a detail that we didn't cover, please let us know in the comments. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer, a content warning. This case deals a lot with infant death. If that's something that is too heavy for you, or if you're pregnant or struggling with PPD, this might not be the episode for you. So take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next one. With that being said, let's get into it. There were two teams at the gender reveal party, and they were not betting on the gender. Not that there's only two, but you get it. No, they were all secretly betting on something else. The couple had this ranch-themed gender reveal party. So while people are doing balloons, confetti, they had purchased this fake cow, like a baby cow, and it was set up with a pink ribbon around the neck. Yeah, the big reveal was that they were having a girl. But everybody in attendance, all the guests, all the friends and family, they are too busy to even focus on the reveal. A medical professional in attendance could not stop staring at the baby bump. They just thought, so fascinating. Why does it look like that?
Okay, see, wait. Okay, yeah, we're getting into territories because like I've always learned that like you don't say anything about like a woman being pregnant or anything. You don't say like congratulations, or you don't say like, oh, look, what is like that? Like you don't do anything like that. So in this joint, I'm going to be learning a good amount of things. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rules, or just like a lot of societal cues to stuff like that I've learned. And that just like, wait, what the fuck? Like you're supposed to say that? You say like, wait, why her belly look like that? Like that don't come off a certain type of way?
Others at the party were showing each other pictures from the maternity shoot for the couple.
Okay.
There the couple were, next to a horse out in the field, all their hands on the baby bump.
Sure.
Some of the attendees would share these quick glances like, you too? Like, you think that's weird, right?
What?
After the gender reveal party, a series of events would take place.
Okay.
There were private conversations, debates, dissecting the couple's Facebook pictures and posts. I mean, look at this ultrasound picture. She said that she's 24 weeks in the post. This fetus does not look like 24 weeks.
Okay.
The dates don't even add up. Like, I'm telling you, there's going to be a very convenient miscarriage very, very soon. I mean, just think about it.
Damn.
On March 18th, 2020, she claimed that her baby was the size of a lemon. And her due date is supposedly September 22nd. The baby is the size of a lemon, right?
Right.
She would be about 3 months pregnant.
Okay.
You usually find out the gender of the baby at 18 to 20 weeks in, not 12.
Sorry, I'm doing math. 18 to 20 weeks? So that's like 4 to 5 months, right?
Wait, so I'm trying to understand. What are people exactly discussing? Like her numbers are not adding up?
There's some people at the gender reveal party that don't think that she's pregnant.
Oh.
But like, what a bizarre thing to lie about. You know, some people are arguing,
Yeah.
those are just so crazy. Like, why would anybody lie about being pregnant? It is like the most obvious thing that you can't lie about. Because
Man, after learning that you possibly could lie about being pregnant, I think anything is possible now. I'll never say, oh, why would somebody do? Obviously, there's reasons as to why, but that's me thinking now. But, like, why? Why?
in 9 months, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Just be like,
Phone
forget it.
calls would be made to local hospitals after this gender reveal party.
Mm-hmm.
Anonymous tips. Someone might try to abduct a baby. Be
Bro,
careful.
nigga, what?
Wait, right after gender reveal party, somebody called the police?
What the
They
fuck?
did not call the police. They called the hospital to send in tips later on, like closer to her due date.
That's crazy.
So they knew she's like she's prone to baby stealing?
Were threats from family members to get the FBI involved.
Oh my
The
gosh.
father of the child received a mysterious text message from an anonymous number a week before the due date.
Okay.
I mean, he couldn't call them to get more additional information. He has no idea who this person is. The text message just reads, "I'm reaching out to you because I feel it's the ethical thing to do. She is not pregnant.
She's a con
artist and is
artist?
lying to keep you around."
A con artist? What? Hospitals near what? How do you even like pinpoint this?
Hospitals nearby are on high alert in case she intends to abduct a baby.
Okay.
Time is running out.
What the hell?
He looks at the text message and then he looks at his pregnant girlfriend. And then he looks at the text message and he's
Bro, what would y'all do? Like I would probably believe my girlfriend, but I would be very like, why is this is so, you know how like you get something so eerie that it's like, because you know how like some people will probably like, you get like different spam calls, spam texts and everything, especially like how like spam texts and stuff like that be, but like that one, because it's so specific, it would just be like, wait, why, what? Wait, what? Like, why do I have to even think that my girlfriend is lying about something like that? Then I'm over here thinking about my own discernment but I want to believe my girlfriend. And I don't want to say like, wait, what? Like, what?
Thinking, there's no way she could fake it. I mean, she's visibly pregnant. Like, how?
Actually, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm the type of person that'll tell my girlfriend damn near anything. I'll be like, yo, what is this about? I'm also not really afraid of confrontation, so, but it's just like, what is this? What the hell is this? Why are they saying this? What is this? I'm like that type of boyfriend. I hope that's not annoying.
You explain that. Did you know there is a website called fakeababy.com?
No, I didn't know that.
Has a legal disclaimer at the bottom of the website indicating that it is only for, quote, pranks. But they know what they're doing.
That's a fucked up prank. That's a very fucked up prank. That happened to one of my friends. That's a very fucked up prank.
The ad at the top reads, "How can I get his attention? We can help." At fakeababy.com, you can buy fake pregnancy tests, fake sonograms, fake prescriptions. All of these things
crazy.
range in the $10 to $20 range. Your boyfriend thinks that you're lying about being pregnant? Waltz into the bathroom where you've stocked up with fakeababy.com pregnancy test, pee on a pregnancy test, and there you go. Positive result. And it's pretty good. The sonograms that they sell are printed using the identical printers to the ones that are used in the hospitals. Sonograms are, they're less like printer paper. They're more like laminated picture feeling.
Okay.
So fakeababy.com, they're really going the extra mile. I mean, they're the best in the game when it comes to faking a baby. You can even buy fake STD tests to send to your husband's mistress claiming that he has HIV.
What the fuck?
You can buy fake paternity tests and a fake silicone baby belly. The baby bellies are the most expensive products and will set you back about $130 or more if you customize it. They're made out of silicone and it looks pretty authentic.
Imagine you get the wrong color. Wait, there's no way that this is an actual sale. You know like how some websites will have like a sale and they will put like the original price is that? Bro, no, the $129 is the real price. Cause what? Why are all these on sale? Why are all of them on sale? Like what?
I mean, I think if you're a medical professional or if you've been pregnant before,
Fakeababy.com.
you could probably tell up close that it's fake. Or if you touch it for too long, you could probably tell. But who's gonna do that? But still, the question at the end of this is, what would be the end goal in lying about a pregnancy? Why would this couple go to fakeababy.com? Like, how do you purchase a silicone baby bump, invite everyone to your baby shower or your gender reveal, go to doctor's appointments nonstop, post on Facebook about your pregnancy all the time?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I go to a fake, like a Fakeababy type gender reveal, I'm not really gonna. I'm gonna be like, wow, this lady is weird. I hope the food is good though. Like it's a, you know what I'm saying? I would like, it's just something, to me, it's just something like, wow, I can't really fathom this happening in life. But there could be reasons why you want to fake this baby. I don't know. This is not really my business, but if the food is good, I would say thank you for the party and be on my way.
And think that everyone's just going to forget about it when the due date rolls around?
That'd be crazy.
What is the purpose of the lie?
Oh,
and
to steal a baby.
What are you gonna do when the lie catches up to you?
To steal a baby.
October 9th, 2020, a man named Homer started receiving cryptic text messages from his wife while he was at work. His wife, Reagan, was texting him about how she wanted to be happy, but it just wasn't working. Homer was really concerned because this doesn't sound like Reagan at all, but maybe it was the pregnancy hormones. She was 34 weeks pregnant. So Homer texted her, "I love you." But then she didn't respond. And he starts getting anxious. She's home alone with their 3-year-old daughter, and something in his gut is telling him, oh my God, I gotta go check on my pregnant wife. I mean, the cryptic texts are weird, but also what if she's giving birth? What if it's a premature birth? We don't know.
Yeah, I'm going straight home. I would be scared out of my mind. I'm going straight home. What?
He calls his wife's mom, Reagan's mom, so his mother-in-law. And
Mama
he's like, can you swing by
Reagan.
the house? Because you're closer to the house than I am. I'm 25 minutes away right now. Reagan's mom, Jessica, and her husband, they pack into the car and they start racing to Reagan's.
Okay.
And they hope that it's nothing. But when they arrive, there was a bloody fingerprint on the doorknob.
Dog.
Jessica runs in and she screams. The entire place was covered in blood.
Bro.
Things were knocked over. I mean, it was very clear that something very bad had happened. On the floor was a mason jar, like one of those big mason jars. It was filled with orange and yellow sand. It was from Reagan and Homer's wedding. These were the vases for the flowers, and there were sunflowers out of here. And now it was on the ground.
Okay.
There's an ultrasound picture of Braxlin on the fridge. This is the baby that Reagan is pregnant with.
Okay.
But underneath that picture is a bloody handprint. There's blood everywhere, mixing with water, soaking into towels next to the kitchen sink. There's bloody shoe prints in the kitchen, on the living room sofa, splattered on the walls. There's a blanket on the living room floor, soaked with blood and amniotic fluid, and it's laying next to Reagan, Jessica's daughter. Reagan is laying face down on the floor. She's 23, by the way. One arm extended out, the other under her head, and there's just this pool of blood underneath her stomach.
Bro, oh my, I'm getting so fucking scared, dog. What the
She had been hit on the head with both sides of a claw hammer. She had been slashed over 100 times with a knife and a scalpel. Reagan's hair was bright red, but she's blonde. It was the blood.
What the
Jessica
fuck?
called 911. That would be the second 911 call that day. She screamed, "Help me. My daughter's been murdered. There's blood everywhere. Oh, my babies. Oh, my God."
Dog, what in the hell? Why would... I was about to say, why is there a documentary for this? This is so fucking sad, dude.
Reagan's 3-year-old daughter,
rest in peace,
Kinley, comes
bro,
out of the bedroom. She's been there the whole time. And she walks out to her grandmother and says, "Where's mommy?" Jessica's husband wraps up the 3-year-old girl in a blanket and runs out of the house so she doesn't see anymore. Police investigator Chad Ford rushes to the crime scene and he said it was the bloodiest crime scene he had ever seen in his whole career. He called the event, quote, unsurvivable. Reagan was clearly dead.
Dog, what the fuck?
And at first, investigator Ford did not want any paramedics to enter the house. Since Reagan has clearly passed, he didn't want anyone to disturb the crime scene because clearly it's a crime scene.
Right?
But then he found out that Reagan was in her 3rd trimester and he thought maybe, just maybe, it could be a miracle, but the baby could be saved.
Okay.
He calls in for a team of paramedics. They kneel down by Reagan's body and they carefully turn her over. There's this enormous slash across her abdomen.
God dang.
And the paramedics look up and tell investigator Ford, the baby is gone.
Bro, yo. This sounds so... I'm not trying to make unfathomable the word of the day, but dog, what? This had to be like a planned attack or something, right? Like, what the fuck? So at the same time that this is happening, that lady is zooming down the highway. So she couldn't even... And I'm kind of like panicking right now because what the fuck? Like she can't go to the hospital to steal a baby. So she came and killed somebody and ripped the baby out of her stomach. You got to, what the fuck? Like how, what?
He tries to clarify. Do you mean deceased? No. Gone.
What the
Reagan's baby was missing. 36-week-old Braxlin had been cut out of her mother's womb and kidnapped.
How? What?
Taylor Parker Morton did not have a conventional relationship with her mom, Shauna. Family members recall seeing Taylor and Shauna, her mom, brawling it out on the living room floor. Like, they're not play wrestling, they're truly wrestling.
Okay.
Taylor truly despised her mother, Shauna.
That's a shame.
I mean, when there's $1.7 billion on the line, I just don't know how a family can be a fully functional family.
What?
Yeah. Taylor Parker Morton was part of the Morton family, which probably
Them
not
salt
as
niggas?
recognizable as the Kennedys or the Gettys, but they own the Morton Salt Company.
Them the salt niggas? What? Sorry, that sounded very, my bad. My fault. That sounded very ignorant. Oh.
You know the salt with the woman and the umbrella?
I have that salt. No way,
but, like,
bro.
Are they close to the...
Yeah.
They are the
grandfather or
salt.
something like that.
So they're very wealthy?
Very wealthy.
And you stealing babies? And you
Taylor is a salt heiress, and the family owned a ton of real estate in Texas. They
Dog.
owned a plot of oil-rich land that oil drilling companies were just like foaming at the mouth to lease and get their hands on. I mean, they were literally sitting on liquid gold, and that...
Good question. You know how like they say like every family has like a black sheep? I'm one of them. But like yeah, we're living in a simulation, a very, very fucked up simulation. Because what do you mean the heiress of the salt people is on death row for ripping a baby out of a woman's stomach? What do you mean? What did you mean?
Was inevitably gonna start some family fights. The company and
1.7
land were
billion?
controlled by Taylor's grandparents on her dad's side.
Okay.
But her dad and her mom had broken up. So, of course, her mom is not really up for the inheritance. It looked like Taylor was going to be the main salt heiress. Shauna, the mom, did not like that. She also hated the fact that she couldn't control Taylor. Like, if the money had been going to maybe Taylor's brother, Shauna could control him and...
Y'all can't break off 1.7 billion, bro. Y'all gotta have all that billion. Y'all can't just break it off like that. Y'all can't break off that much money. That's a lot of fucking money. Y'all can't break that. Y'all can't just split that. You can't give somebody some what?
The funds a bit better, but Taylor was kind of a wild card.
Oh gosh.
So Shauna hired a hitman to kill her own daughter.
What? Well, I see why they're fucking fist fighting on the floor. Okay, this is the level of I don't. You know what? Maybe Taylor's not a black sheep. This is just a family of black sheep. I don't know. It's the same color black as the Morton. I can't believe I actually have that in my pantry, bro. Should I not have that anymore? Because what the hell has this family got going on?
I mean, there's just no such thing as family when $1 billion is on the line. Wade, Taylor's boyfriend, got a glimpse of what real life succession looks like. I mean, there were video cameras hidden and pointed at the house that they shared because Taylor's mom was constantly surveilling her.
Excuse me?
One time the couple got into a really nasty fight. Taylor ran out of the house on him and Wade's phone buzzed. He received a text message from an unknown number and it read, "Where did Taylor go?" He was like, what the hell is going on with this family? They're unhinged. He was disgusted at how far Taylor's mom would go for money.
Like, this is crazy.
He was scared for Taylor's life. Taylor had to hire private investigators to track down her mom, Shauna. And side note, Shauna always had some like really underground connections to the cartels in Mexico. So it was like really hard to trace her and the people that she was working with.
Okay, my brain is, wait, hold on. What? It's so much stuff going on.
It's really complicated. So Taylor had this unmarked police car that would tail her to make sure that there was no attempt at her life. Mm-hmm. Countless attorneys had to get involved.
Right.
I mean, the couple had weird text messages coming in from unknown numbers at odd hours of the day that were basically watching them.
This is
They
terrifying.
would have to get new bankers, attorneys. I mean, new friends would come into their lives and then would cryptically leave because they said that Taylor's mom had gotten a hold of them.
Bro, what the fuck?
So this Taylor's mom is kind of out
Yeah.
of this world.
Huh.
And then it all climaxed with a death.
Whose?
Not Taylor's,
Oh.
but her mom, Shauna's.
Oh.
The salt heiress's mom was dead. Even though Taylor probably felt safer now that she was gone, I mean, she's still grieving the loss of her mother, right? And
I feel kind of conflicted about that, but that is still her mother.
remember how I said Shauna, the mom, was involved in a lot of the shadier businesses in connection with cartels?
Right.
Well, there was an incident where a few people were killed over a cartel business deal gone wrong. Shauna happened to be there. The lower ranks snitched on her and she was thrown in prison. The mom self-exited in prison because of the disgrace and not being able to live a life of luxury anymore.
Oh.
And, you know, she was married to the heir of the Morton Salt Company, for crying out loud. She can't wear orange anymore. And she died. Taylor's boyfriend, Wade, he just felt this tension lift off his shoulders. And he just felt like, okay, now I can just spend some more precious time with Taylor Morton and her wonderful family.
Right.
He got really close with Uncle Butch, who was helping Taylor with the inheritance transfers.
Mm-hmm.
And Wade was really excited to go to the Morton family Christmas gathering and finally meet everyone in person.
Did everything be salty?
Including Uncle Butch. But right when he walks in through those doors, with presents wrapped up in his arms, he wanted to scream bloody murder.
Why?
Risen from the dead, standing there in the flesh, was Taylor's mom, Shauna Morton.
All right, yeah, you got me. Now I'm gonna get up out of here. Nope. That'd be the last time. I don't know what the hell type shit y'all doing. Y'all, I don't know. No, it's all good. I don't, you know what? I don't know. No.
What?
Shauna Morton
Risen
had
from the
faked her own
dead.
death to get the couple to lower their guards.
This is fucking
Shauna
crazy.
was going to make their lives a living hell. She was going to intercept so many bank transactions that Taylor's personal banks were
How
going to
the
get
fuck-
flagged for fraud. She was going to cause drama between Taylor and the corporate executives at oil companies that Taylor was working with for the property that they had. Shauna was a very, very, very spiteful woman.
I can
Wade
tell.
tried to contact Taylor's uncle, Uncle Butch, because he was a no-show at the Christmas party. And he
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the scariest things is someone who's persistent at getting what they want from you. Like, people will really stop at nothing to reach their goal. And it's not like their goal is to be a better person. No, their goal is to fuck up your life. Like, that is really scary.
He's been one of the only helpful ones so far. And so he tries to call him, but Uncle Butch doesn't pick up.
Why?
Instead, he responds by sending an email, and it reads, and this is paraphrased for length.
Okay.
Well, Wade Griffin, I can't call either of you right now because I'm not Uncle Butch.
I'm not
You see, it's
Uncle.
very simple to pretend to be someone nowadays.
What?
To make two shitty people look stupid.
What is this
And
Scooby-Doo
that
shit?
I have done. That's what happens when you ruin someone's life. They can fuck yours up easy. You took everything from me when you started dating that fat little bitch. Are you that dumb to think you would get ahead in life? It's funny. She thought she could have dreams with you. You don't even want her.
What?
You just say that you're happy to get money, you dumbass. Hope you both have a miserable life and you're not getting any money. Maybe you'll leave Taylor and make yourself look worse. Maybe you'll ruin your life even more. The email
What type of Scooby-Doo shit is this?
goes on to taunt Wade for going into debt when in reality, Taylor's inheritance is going to keep getting blocked. The email continues.
Okay.
I hope that fat, worthless bitch enjoys being in debt for someone who doesn't even want her. Congratulations on your awesome life, guys. This is hilarious. It really is. Now, I get to watch Wade leave Taylor, and when he leaves you, Taylor, you will have nothing. Remember that.
Okay, Regina George.
So they're trying to reach out to Uncle, but
Yes.
instead the mom responded to him.
Oh.
And turns out they've been talking to the mom whole time, not Uncle Butch.
Oh.
Yes.
The mom.
Bro, can you put this lady in jail or something? Like, she needs to. Can she like go away? Like, for real. Like, this is so convoluted and weird. This is just weird. Like, it's so weird. This seems so cartoony and weird.
Faked the email.
Yes.
Oh.
The letter was
Wow.
signed Shauna Morton, Taylor's not dead mother.
Not dead
And
mother.
Wade is like, this is like out of an ultimate Disney villain movie.
No,
His
this is
life feels like
bullshit.
it's spinning out of control. Ever since he started dating the Salt heiress, he's no longer living a normal life.
Bro,
and he feels
leave
like
her.
it's all so unhinged.
Leave her.
Unbelievable, really.
So the mom is so upset with the daughter.
Yes.
Where's everyone else? What is everyone else
Just
doing?
letting this shit happen.
We'll get there. It all
Okay.
feels so unhinged. Unbelievable, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was. It was all an unbelievable lie.
What?
Taylor Morton was not the heir to the Morton Salt Company. Her mother never hired a hitman to kill her, never tried to kill her, never went to jail and self-exited.
I feel real stupid. I ain't gonna lie. That's very embarrassing. I really believe that. Wow.
Taylor was a pathological liar.
Oh.
It said that Taylor had two kinds of people in her life. People who didn't know her well, and people who knew her long enough to know that everything she said was a lie.
Is everything you just mentioned? Is the
Everything is
boyfriend
a
a
lie.
lie?
No, the boyfriend's
Is the
real,
boyfriend's
Wade,
real?
but this is everything she lied to him about.
Oh, so this is
That's
coming
so
from
sad.
his POV.
Yeah.
So
What?
the email that he got was actually from Taylor?
Yeah.
Wow.
He genuinely thinks it's Shauna, Taylor's mom.
Oh my gosh. He's never met the mom, or he did?
Never until the Christmas party.
And the mom is not crazy.
No.
Oh.
The mom is, I mean, I don't know if she's a great mom, but she's
She didn't
not,
do what
She
was
definitely
claimed.
didn't hire a
Are they
hitman.
related to the Salt family?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not even a little bit.
Why
They
you lie
probably
about that,
own
lady?
a bottle of that salt. That's probably their relation to this. We probably has just as much relation to that salt company as they do.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just pulled my leg, bro.
All the kids in elementary school thought Taylor Parker Morton was a bit strange.
Mm.
Okay? Even 9-year-olds can tell when something just isn't adding up. Taylor would come into class on Monday. On Monday, she'd be lightheaded and nauseous. Tuesday, she would have full-on crutches, hopping around during recess. Wednesday, back to normal, as if nothing happened. Look, chronic illnesses do sometimes come and go, but Taylor rarely ever had the same symptoms twice. And then by middle school, her crutches evolved into full-on cancer. She started lying about cancer probably towards the end of elementary school, actually. It was also around this time, Taylor started telling her classmates that she was having adult activities in the shower. She's 9. We cannot confirm 1,000% if this is true, what she said is true, or if she genuinely did say that to people, I don't know. But an acquaintance from Taylor's school told YouTuber John Crimes during an interview that they did that, disturbingly, nobody reported it. And again, this is not to blame Taylor's acquaintance from that school. I'm assuming that she was 9 at the time as well. But it was never retold to a teacher. And if it was never reported to the authorities.
And she would always have these weird stories for being like 8 and 9 years old. She would tell her friends about having sex in the shower as an 8-year-old. She would, and when she was in 4th grade, this girl said that she faked having cancer. And one of the stories,
Talk about some What you mean You ain't gonna say more to this? Like, this is crazy.
These stories are all from just one girl. I'm sure there's more out there, but 4th grade. Faked having cancer in 4th grade. And this same girl also said one of their friends had a slumber party one weekend because it was her birthday. I love this accent. Naturally, the girls were at school talking about, getting ready for the slumber party that night. And Taylor was mean to all the girls, so she wasn't invited to the party. Well, I guess in Taylor's mind, if she hears somebody talking about it, it's her reality. And her mom showed up to the girls' slumber party and dropped Taylor off that evening.
But just keep this in mind later, because according to psychologists, pathological lying begins at a very young age and it can stem from some sort of trauma. By high school, Taylor Parker was perpetually pregnant. She was in a constant cycle of either thinking she's pregnant, being actively pregnant, or miscarrying. She also had this alarming fixation on pregnant bodies. Another girl in her high school was actually pregnant, and somehow Taylor got a photo of her with her baby bump out in the open. She cut out the girl's head and started sending it to boys saying that it was her body and that she was pregnant.
This is some scary foreshadowing here. I just want to point that out.
It was just bizarre. Taylor always had this very interesting relationship with boys. She would talk nonstop to the girls in class about all the boys that were dating her, all of her boyfriends. But when the girls asked to see a picture, Taylor could not provide one.
They went to another school.
All she could do was show them long threads of text messages as proof that she had a boyfriend.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of remember there were a couple people in like my middle school that was like that. I mean, I believed it. I didn't really give a damn. It's like, okay, you go, girl. Okay, you got 17 boyfriends. Okay, respect. That is interesting that pathological lying starts at a young age and it can just go. Okay. Interesting.
It was really odd. She told the girls that one of her boyfriends had gotten her pregnant. But then she asked one of the girls in class for their nude photos so that she could send it to her boyfriend and trick him into thinking it was her photo.
The fuck?
Which, I don't know. If Taylor really was pregnant, it would be safe to assume that her boyfriend would have seen her naked and know that this is not her, right?
Right.
Taylor was considered pretty petite in high school, so she's a bit on the shorter side, and she weighed around 250 pounds. So a lot of people assume that she was asking her classmates to get their nude photos to send to boys because she's catfishing them into believing that she's thinner or something along those lines. And I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that at 16 years old, Taylor was caught by her mom, Shauna, for catfishing a teenage boy online, pretending to be a completely other human being. And allegedly, when this teenage boy found out the truth that he was talking to Taylor instead of who he thought he was talking to, he was so distraught that he wanted to exit his own life. Taylor...
What did you just say to me? What?
And I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that at 16 years old, Taylor was caught by her mom, Shauna, for catfishing a teenage boy online, pretending to be a completely other human being. And allegedly, when this teenage boy found out the truth that he was talking to Taylor instead of who he thought he was talking to, he was so distraught that he wanted to exit his own life.
Did Taylor say that? You know what? let's just keep going. Okay.
Taylor's mom had to call the boy's parents to explain
This
why
is
their son was so
insane.
hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot going on.
That is actually kind of embarrassing. I low-key feel bad. But I remember that this is Taylor we talking about here, so I really don't feel bad for her embarrassment. That's very fucked up.
Going on with Taylor. And more than anything, pathological liars need attention.
Okay.
And Taylor liked a very specific kind of attention. She wanted everyone to believe that she was rich, sick, and pregnant, and the best would be all three at the same time. So Rich Taylor was the heiress to the Morton Salt Empire, $1.7 billion worth of salt.
Sure.
Or, because this case takes place in Texas, she would tell people that her family owned a giant plot of land that had just the most amount of oil underneath, like probably the oiliest land in all of Texas.
The oiliest land.
If she got bored of those storylines, she was suddenly the heiress to the Blackburn Syrup Company, which is a maple syrup brand that's been around since the 20s, I think.
Sure.
She would always have lawyers, accountants, representatives from Shell, the gas company, blowing up her phone with text messages about business deals. And side note, their names were always a little bit ridiculous. For example, the lawyer she worked with, his name was Blake Lawington. The
What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Oh, this is so... What's Blake Lawington? You know, the best way, I would think, to debunk some of these lies. You know, it's really interesting how someone can just lie and just not give a fuck. Like pathological lying. You just be like, you're an heiress to these salt people. Can I get $1, please? Kind of can't afford lunch today. Can I get some of that, Miss Heiress? No? Wow, looks like you're not really ranking in money.
representative from Shell Gas and Oil Company was Shelly.
Shelly?
And you guessed it, Taylor would purchase fake numbers to text herself. She would have in-depth conversations about oil contracts, like boring oil contracts, for days with herself. And then she would proudly show everyone, look, Shelly from Shell just texted me.
Okay.
Wow.
Shelly from
At one
Shell.
point, she kept a total of 11 fake numbers to use for fake messages and identities. And then we have Sick Taylor. This is probably her favorite type of attention.
She got
Sick
Fortnite
Taylor
skins?
always had some form of cancer and MS. At one point, Taylor was working for a medical center, and it's like her patients were contagious. If they were dizzy, suddenly she was dizzy. If they had slurred speech,
This is very fucked up.
suddenly she had slurred speech. Headaches, vision loss, hearing loss. She literally woke up one morning and was like, oh no, guys, I'm colorblind. Magically, the symptoms would disappear overnight if she was distracted or if people fussed over her for a little bit. Sometimes loved ones would take her to the hospital where the doctors would try to provide the absolute best care possible, but they were still reassuring Taylor, you're gonna be all right. Like, yeah, you're gonna be all right. You don't have cancer.
It's gotta be exhausting.
And then they would walk out of there, and Taylor would be posting on Facebook along the lines of, doctors are saying it's not looking good. She would post,
bro, what can you do? What can you do? Like, literally, what can you do? Do y'all have pathological liars in your life? How do y'all cope? Or, like, what do y'all do? Like, what do y'all do to deal with these people? Because this just seems so, like, you just got to get away from them. But if they're in your family, and if that's, like, your sister or your daughter, you can't do that. That has to be exhausting.
after this painful, tough, stressful day, I can honestly say that my body has fallen into yet another relapse. Number 3, major to be exact. My stroke-like symptoms are visibly noticeable, but I have not given up. I'm constantly working on moving my hand, my arm, leg, and foot, and can still somewhat cause movement in some way, which is a blessing because it means that the MS has not taken complete control of my brain's nervous system. Not just yet.
I take a lot of offense to this. Like, a lot.
She claimed that she had a stroke and half of her body was less mobile than the other half. She went colorblind overnight, suffered from debilitating migraines. She added epilepsy to her very long list of fake illnesses. It was a lot. And, of course, MS. Now, this is a very, very interesting thing about Taylor's MS diagnosis. Side note, MS is a chronic and unpredictable disease that affects your nervous system. So basically, the ability of your brain to communicate with the rest of your body becomes damaged. Oftentimes, it's life-altering. And the thing to remember here is MS is 100,000 million% not contagious.
Yeah.
But Taylor's MS suddenly appeared around the time that she met Caitlin Glass. Caitlin Glass was a new friend of Taylor's who absolutely did have MS.
Oh my gosh.
It was something that impacted her daily life, and it was kind of nice to have a friend who understood the exact struggles that she was going through. The pain in the fingers. So a lot of MS patients will actually experience the coating around their nerves to get damaged. So imagine your nerves are just in your body exposed. It's painful. Like just existing is painful.
I really appreciate this, Stephanie. I have close loved ones who have MS. I really appreciate that. Also, fuck Taylor. That just pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie.
The coating is, getting damaged.
Even because of the cancer. Like I'm just saying, like I was not expecting MS, and that is.
What can you do, right? Some people experience pressure around their eyes that you can barely open your eyes, muscles that feel so stiff, you lose hearing slowly, you have body shakes, you can barely even hold up your own body weight. When Caitlin's MS got really bad, she couldn't even walk on her own and had to go to the hospital for treatments to calm her symptoms. Caitlin, Taylor, and another one of their friends, they created this MS support group. And their whole thing was, this is not going to stop us from living.
Okay.
They got matching tattoos. They even joined a Jeep club, which sounds wild, but apparently Jeep clubs in Texas are really cool. So during a really bad snowstorm in 2022, the North Texas Jeep Club called on Jeep owners across the area to tow giant 18-wheeler trucks off the icy highway.
What the hell?
So they just came out and volunteered.
What?
So all you really need to join a Jeep club is
a Jeep. All right.
Taylor
sure.
ended up loving it so much that she bought a $40,000 Jeep that was way out of her budget. But eventually, Caitlin noticed a few things about Taylor that just made her go, kind of weird. Like it wasn't like a blaring red flag at first, but just, interesting.
What was it?
So for one, Taylor had the complete opposite symptoms of Caitlin when it came to MS, but it does affect everyone differently, so maybe it was just that. But whenever Caitlin had a relapse and had to be hospitalized, all of their Jeep friends would come and visit her in the hospital and show her love and support. And then what do you know? Taylor would relapse and she would be in the hospital, and all the Jeep friends would come up and show her love and support. So for the first few times, Caitlin didn't care. She's so busy focused on the fact that her two daughters and her mom are at home and she needs to hurry up and get better so she can go take care of them. But it was kind of weird, And maybe it was even frustrating. Taylor would come into the hospital stating that she too relapsed and they were together on the same boat. But while Taylor would be discharged after a prescription of strong painkiller opioids and like a toot on the butt, Caitlin would be hospitalized for a lot longer, recovering. Like I said, at first, Caitlin didn't think too much of it until it happened again and again. She would be hospitalized. Taylor would come in making all these dramatic Facebook posts about how she's relapsing too, how bad it is. But then all the hospital would do for her is get her on some pain meds and send her home. Caitlin, on the other hand, had to get poked, scanned, had to stay in the hospital with steroids pumping into her bloodstream through an IV until her symptoms went away. Which, fine, you could argue that maybe Caitlin's MS is worse than Taylor's, but everyone remembers Taylor complaining about her symptoms and everything that she went through. You would imagine that Taylor's MS was actually worse than Caitlin's. Caitlin said, the hardest part about MS is that it's a completely hidden thing. Like, you can't see what's going on. I wouldn't wish this disease on anybody. It is a horrible disease. And it just kind of felt like Taylor was exaggerating her symptoms. Or, it felt like she was faking it. That's what Caitlin thought. Like, it was weird. And then there's other examples of things. For one, Taylor wrote in depth on Facebook about a car accident that she had recently been in.
No, you didn't.
Caitlin's reading it, and she's like, that's a complete lie. I was the one that was in the car accident.
Bro, this is fucking crazy. Like, she's over here just causing just headaches and fucking just pain and obnoxious. Like, this is... Gosh.
She's literally using my story as if she was in the car accident. Why is she posting about it online like this?
Something wrong with her.
Taylor also posted about how she was a nurse and wrote about all of her nurse stories. She wasn't even a nurse. Caitlyn was a nurse.
Bro, what
Caitlyn
the hell?
was now realizing that Taylor was a pathological liar, and for all she knew, she didn't even have MS. And on top of that, Taylor was just not a girl's girl. Caitlyn noticed that she was openly flirting with very obviously married men in the Jeep Club and was actually caught by one of the wives full on having activities with one of the husbands in the Jeep. And it just went against Caitlyn's own morals. But also, the Jeep Club rules. First rule of Jeep Club, have a Jeep. Second rule of Jeep Club, no drama. Caitlyn tried to be empathetic to why Taylor might be feeling like this. But while on a camping trip with the Jeep Club, Taylor had the audacity to openly flirt with Caitlyn's husband.
Oh, fuck that.
Made worse by the fact that Taylor herself was also married. In 2011, Tommy Wacasey married Taylor Morton, the salt heiress.
Wait, that's the husband, boyfriend? Who is this?
We're going to go through 3 relationships. The last one is the one we just talked about.
Oh,
wow.
This is the first one.
This is the first one.
Oh, wow.
She didn't have her $1.7 billion inheritance yet, so Tommy was supporting her in the meantime.
Sure.
And at first, you know, Tommy was kind of impressed by Taylor. She's like a very Southern girl, has a Southern accent. But slowly that turned into resentment. Taylor was not the good girl that she tried to make herself out to be. She prided herself in being so good at cooking, being so maternal, being all these things, and she's sending naked photos to other men. And they're
Okay. This is terrible duality, bro.
heavily edited at that.
oh.
Tommy said that. I did not say that.
Oh, okay.
She would also lie about her income to get food stamps, and then she would lie to her family, primarily her grandma, about how she couldn't afford any food at all. Like, it was kind of weird. So her grandma would become so distraught, other family members had to drive grandma to Taylor's house to show her, look, Granny, do you see the food in her fridge?
She just wants sympathy from Granny?
Yeah.
Bro,
there's
this
no
is, she's a
consistency.
parasite.
She's like, no, I'm a salt terrace. Actually, Grandma, I'm starving. Like, it was kind of confusing. It seemed like she would stop at nothing for attention from quite literally anywhere that she could get it.
Jeez.
In 2014, Taylor went to Mexico for a gastric bypass surgery, which is a type of weight loss surgery. Now,
Okay.
this is clearly an oversimplification, but they go into your stomach and they make it so that your stomach cannot hold as much food. A normal stomach can hold approximately 33 ounces of food. After a gastric sleeve or bypass, your stomach can only hold about 2 to 5 ounces of food.
2 to 5?
What the fuck?
So it makes you feel fuller faster. It restricts the amount of food that you can eat in one sitting, but it's not really like an end-all cure-all for weight management. Patients still have to spend a lot of time maintaining a healthy, balanced diet. So Taylor goes to Mexico for a gastric bypass surgery. And side note, this is not initially a ploy to get attention or anything like that. Like, that's not what I'm insinuating. You cannot just go and get this procedure done. You have to qualify. And Taylor, for once, did actually have some serious health problems. In 2014, she was experiencing a lot of these weird symptoms where one side of her face was actually drooping quite a bit. And for Taylor, not saying this is for everyone, but for Taylor, her doctors believe these symptoms were precursors of her having a stroke that was exacerbated by her weight.
Oh my
So
gosh.
they
Wow.
recommended the gastric bypass surgery.
Oh,
She
wow.
went to Mexico, got the surgery. Afterwards, she got a tummy tuck, and she went on to delete every single picture of her in existence before the surgery.
Okay.
It's kind of like she wanted to erase the pre-surgery Taylor, act like she never existed. I mean, to a degree, I get it, but it just seemed to a lot of people, it just seemed really overboard. Like she wanted to wipe the past of her.
Okay.
Tommy said that after this, Taylor's self-esteem skyrocketed and her need for attention went into overdrive.
Oh,
She was
gosh.
constantly cheating with guys from the Jeep Club, but if Caitlyn or anyone, or if any of the married men even confronted her about it because, hey, Taylor, you're also married, you're cheating, she would spin these wild stories of how Tommy Wacasey was abusing her. It said she would even throw herself against walls and furniture to create bruises that she would later go around pouting and showing all the Jeep guys like, look what my husband Tommy did to me. Meanwhile, telling Tommy about how all the Jeep guys are trying to sleep with her.
Girl, you sleeping
When
with
Tommy
him?
secretly followed Taylor around one day, he found her with another man, and the
Boo.
marriage was over.
Thank you.
Taylor got
Gosh.
engaged to husband number 2 while she was still married to Tommy. She would marry Hunter Parker just 11 days after her first divorce was finalized.
What
This
the
is now
fuck?
husband number 2. And it seems like with every relationship, she's just getting a little bit worse. Like the lies are getting a little bit more far-fetched. It's like she's like amping up for something, just getting...
How the hell do you get worse than faking MS? Well, she actually got worse. Okay.
More and more and more evil until she commits double homicide.
My gosh.
Unlike Taylor's first husband, who thought she was the saltiest heiress alive, Hunter thought that she was just kind of a genuine small-town nurse that worked in the surgical division of an OBGYN's office. Taylor would always walk around with a medical kit, but not like a first aid kit. She would carry around full-on scalpels, like multiple scalpels, spare blades, syringes, which is interesting because I don't even think most doctors just carry around medical kits to Chipotle.
In a briefcase and shit.
It was in Taylor's marriage with Hunter, she became obsessed with getting pregnant. I mean, I think it's less of an obsession with wanting children and more about everyone believing she's pregnant, because pregnant women in society, I'm not saying they have it great. I think there's a lot that could be done to benefit pregnant women a bit more.
Agreed.
But you know, there's that energy of like, you're glowing. No, you sit. No, you do this. Oh, you must be so tired, right? Mm-hmm. She wanted that. It started about a year into the marriage. Taylor can feel Hunter slipping away, and she's like, I need to give him a reason to stick around. She tells Hunter that she's pregnant, but when he asks her to go confirm it with the doctor, she never spoke about it again. It seemed like she would just lie about being pregnant to get attention she wanted or to win a fight, not because she's actually pregnant. But I guess him asking her to go to the doctor to confirm it spooked her, so she decided to go a different route.
This lady is a real piece of work, huh? And I'm just saying that before the double homicide. She's a piece of murderer. That's what she is.
She would turn around and tell all of her friends that she was miserable because she had stage 4 uterine cancer and it had eaten up her womb. She stated that she suffered from 2 miscarriages, 2 baby girls that she lost, which is a totally traumatic but also totally false story that she made up.
Jeez, dude.
She then offered her friends $100,000 each to be her surrogate. Which is like, I don't want to say it's a good deal because that's a really weird way to phrase it, but the average surrogate in Texas would be paid $55,000 on average for their services. So it's nearly double. It was just weird. Why is she doing this? Hey. One of Taylor's friends was actually pregnant with her own child, not as a surrogate, and she said that Taylor became obsessed with her.
What the fuck?
She would ask to tag along to all of her doctor's appointments. She wanted to know every single intimate detail about her pregnancy. It was creepy. It was obsessive.
She is a parasite.
Taylor knew Mackenzie, the pregnant friend, had struggled to conceive. So this is her rainbow baby.
Oh my God.
But when Taylor found out at the doctor's appointment that she followed Mackenzie to, when she found out that Mackenzie was pregnant with a baby girl, Taylor looked at her and had the audacity with her full chest to pop the question, Mackenzie, will you be my surrogate?
Girl, fuck you. What was that story that we watched? Was it the Lucy Letby one? Where she was like a grief vampire or something? Like, this Taylor lady is just a pregnancy vampire. Like, oh my gosh. The fuck? Like, what?
Of course she said no. When none of Taylor's friends foamed at the mouth to carry
should have slapped fire out of her for that. Like, why would you ask that, bro?
A literal baby for her in their wombs for $100,000, which Taylor did not have anyway, Taylor does something very strange. She texts her not dead mother, Shauna, and says, "Can I have your uterus?"
Excuse me?
She's texting her mom, okay? Shauna, the mom, understandably is very confused by this random text message, and she responds, No. Taylor angrily texts back, WTF, why?
Yeah, motherfucker, it's my uterus. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean, why? Maybe I want that. Like, what the hell are you talking? What?
Hatchable? Well, it would be a hysterectomy for you. No more period, etc. The doctor would just take it from you. And yes, it's detachable. Cut here, snip there.
No.
What in the world?
It's like
that's literally what she's asking for?
Like,
she's
what?
so entitled. She thinks she's entitled to other people's reproductive systems.
That is crazy.
Like body parts.
She's like, yeah, of course. Give me your body part.
Yeah, just a little choppy, little soy.
Yeah, little chop.
Get over yourself.
The fuck?
So aggressive.
Crazy.
Later, Taylor would go to the same friends and tell them,
why does she have friends?
I found a surrogate.
How does she still have friends?
She stated that she finally found a surrogate, but later that story would evolve. It would upgrade. It would advance. The storyline would.
Of course it would.
Hunter, her husband, cheated on her with the surrogate. And the woman was pregnant with their child, ended up miscarrying because of the intimate relations that she had with Hunter. It was a lot. This is what she's telling her friends and her mom. But to Hunter, she had a completely different story.
Bro, the fact that she has friends is mind-boggling. After all of this, did they just find this, like, entertaining or something?
She told Hunter that she finally found a surrogate and her grandma was willing to pay for the surrogate.
Oh my gosh.
So her grandma, being some sort of shadowy Texan gangster that Hunter doesn't really know about, Taylor said that the grandma had given this blue duffel bag filled with cash to the brim to a man named Tim Hightower.
Tim Hightower?
Tim was going to now deliver the cash to Hunter. Hunter would just have to wait at the super secret meeting spot, but Tim Hightower never showed up. Hunter texted Taylor and she explained, "You'll never believe it. Tim Hightower was driving down the highway with the giant blue duffel bag of cash. He had gotten into a really bad car accident. First responders arrived at the scene. They looked at Tim Hightower. They looked at the blue duffel bag of cash. They looked back at... They stole the cash. The paramedics stole the cash." Hunter was not buying it. And then he got a text message from Tim Hightower himself apologizing for the situation. He also sent a picture of a blue duffel bag of cash. He was like, "Here, I took this earlier as proof of payment, but the paramedics stole it." The picture is a giant blue duffel bag filled with cash, and it's filled to the brim with straps of cash. So, like, you know how at banks or in those organized crime movies, they have straps of cash in briefcases?
Yeah.
Did you guys always know the denomination?
Yeah.
Denomination?
Yeah,
What do you
so
mean?
side note, it's not always $100 bills. In the US, you do straps of cash with every denomination. It just has to be 100 bills of that denomination.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
100, so it'd be like
$20, $10,
Yes.
$5, yeah.
So this was all 20s. Each strap, that means, is $2,000. I
That's
mean,
a lot of
even just
20s.
from what I can see in the picture, which is just the top layer of cash, it's like $100,000.
Oh.
And the whole bag seems to be filled, so we can only imagine.
My dumb ass would probably believe it. Bro, do you know how... Okay, do y'all... What is the... Here's a quick tangent. What do y'all think is the most commonly used bill? I was thinking 20, but now I'm thinking $1. Like, I've seen more 20s than I've seen dollars. And I don't really like carry around cash, but what do y'all think that is? That kind of made me think for a quick second. Let's keep going. Sorry.
Imagine how much is in there. And Hunter thought it was unbelievable how much cash there was. So he Googled blue duffel bag full of
And
money,
it's in the-
and it was the first image to pop up.
Oh my gosh.
I ran the same search.
Oh my
It was the
gosh.
fourth image for me.
What?
Well,
No fucking way. Wait a minute. No fucking way. No fucking way. Hold on. This shit not even popping up. Damn, this not even popping up. I thought I was having a nice little Google moment. You know what?
Hunter was over these stories. He filed for divorce in 2019.
Oh, damn.
Not too long after the divorce, Taylor starts dating a new guy and starts posting on Facebook again about how pregnant she is. Hunter knows that something's very, very fishy, but he just wants to create as much distance from him and Taylor as possible.
Good idea.
And maybe at first it feels like, okay, fine. Let's try to sympathize here. Perhaps her behavior escalated out of pure desperation to be a mom.
No.
Not justifying any of her actions, but trying to see that side. She desperately wants a child so badly, she's willing to make up all sorts of lies and delusions to cope with the fact that she cannot get pregnant. But Taylor Parker is already a mother with 2 children.
Actually, this time?
Actually.
So she gave birth to
Twice.
2 kids.
Actually, in the hospital, medical records came out of her genuinely.
And where are they?
So
Yeah, they're not really present in this story because Taylor did absolutely everything to not be present in her own children's lives.
Wow.
Meanwhile, crying on Facebook about how much she wants to be a mother again and how excited she is that she's pregnant with her 3rd.
what the fuck? What?
Taylor dropped out of high school when she was 17 because she was pregnant with her first child, Emily. This is a fake name. Her real name is out there, but let's stick with Emily.
All right.
Emily's father was a 19-year-old that was not ready for the responsibility. So Taylor was kind of on her own with Emily. Taylor told Emily that her dad was dead. Emily didn't really have any parental figures in her life until Tommy, Taylor's first husband, came around, and Tommy was actually a great stepdad. Tommy's whole family cared for Emily a lot, to the point where they encouraged Tommy to formally adopt Emily.
Aww.
So they all chipped in like $500, which is how much it costs to file the adoption papers. They gave it to Taylor, and the money disappeared, and there was no formal adoption.
Oh my
Then
fucking
in
goodness.
2014, Taylor had another child, this time with husband number 1, Tommy. So this son, let's call him Travis. And it's so interesting because Taylor wants to be perpetually pregnant. She's obsessed with being pregnant, and she's obsessed with pregnant women, but she has zero interest in being a mom. She would just leave her kids wherever someone would take them. Sometimes she would meet you, and after an hour of meeting you at this party, she'd be like, "Can you go pick up my kids for
This is sad. This is very, very sad.
Total strangers. Can you go pick up my kids?" Why would you even want strangers to pick up your children?
It's
like a mom's biggest fear.
Man.
Tommy's mom had to look out for both Emily and Travis because, I mean, that's so dangerous. At one point, Tommy's mom was alarmed because Emily complained to her that a mom kept giving her some sort of medication for non-existent conditions. So instead of feeding Emily the meds that she was supposed
I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. Oh my gosh, that was so scary.
to be feeding her when babysitting, Tommy's mom would just mix vanilla with water and lie to Emily and say they were meds so that Taylor wouldn't find out.
Oh, wow.
But she did, and it would result in these massive blowout fights. So if you see discourse out there of people thinking that she has like Munchausen by proxy, I don't know. I mean, this was one incident. I mean, there's a lot of things that Taylor are that we should be talking about more than that first, but it is alarming for sure.
Right.
Taylor hated watching her own kids until she needed to use them as props. For
That's
example,
fucked up,
when Taylor
bro.
married Hunter, Hunter's parents were asking questions like, "Why don't you have custody over your own kids?" They just thought it was weird. Immediately, Taylor would go to Tommy's mom's house and
I mean, I would expect that to be a little bit weird because normally, from, of course, a society standpoint, that the mom is normally seen as the primary caretaker. And from like stuff that I hear, people say like, "Oh, if the mom does not have custody, something is really, really crazy." And this is what I hear. I don't really subscribe to that because I've been shown a lot of times where moms are not the best to their children.
fetch Emily, and Emily absolutely hated being with Taylor.
Fuck.
She confided in Tommy's parents that she never felt love from her mom, like not even an ounce of it.
Damn.
Even when she went to go spend time with Taylor and Hunter, what Taylor would do is spend all night in the kitchen cooking up these elaborate meals for Hunter. She would throw one on the table for Emily, leave her outside to eat alone, while
What?
Taylor and Hunter would retreat into the bedroom to watch TV, to giggle, to have a good time.
What the fuck? How? Like, what?
Emily would be left all alone for
My
hours
gosh.
and hours. She's like 8 at this point.
I'm sorry,
And when
Emily.
people stopped asking about her kids, she would just run and drop them back off at Tommy's parents' place. Once she dropped off Travis, her son, with his entire backside infected because she did not change his diapers for 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
Same diaper for 5 days. No matter
What?
how much feces and urine was spilling out of there, he had a sore develop because of an infection.
Oh
the
my
poor child had to get on
gosh.
antibiotics and had to deal with the pain every time he was laying down, all because his mother was too lazy to change his underwear.
What the fuck? I bet she would change her dude's underwear if he shitted in it. The fuck, bro? Oh my gosh. How do you...
This
What?
is the type of mom that wants to have more children. She clearly doesn't like being a mom. She just wants a baby.
That is
She
crazy.
just wants attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
What the
have you ever
fuck?
met someone who tells lies that are so ridiculous that you just can't believe that they're not true?
Yeah.
Yeah, the confidence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, you can't say that with a straight face. Like,
Right.
When Taylor turned 18, she lied to the government and stated that she was pregnant
The
to try
government-
and collect supplemental security income, which can be as much as $841 a month.
SSI?
At work, she would fake the death of her sister so that she didn't have to go to work. She doesn't even have a sister.
How do you even do that? Don't they do like background checks or something? Or this shit this was able to happen? What?
In 2018, she started working for a new company called Express. She told her
Express?
colleagues that she had 2 different types of cancers, that she had a stillbirth at 35 weeks, and she feared all her hair was going to fall out within the next few weeks from the chemo. She also stated that she was too weak to even lift printer paper out of the printer. But the woman who was too weak to lift printer paper out of the printer was also running a scam where she ran a photography business online, would take advance deposits, and then just ghost clients.
The fuck?
Taylor would have a stroke the night before work, and then the next day she would come to work slurring her speech and dragging her leg.
Bro, that's so fucked up. This is, oh my gosh.
And then after break time, she would forget because she's having such a good time and then walk and talk as normal. She would dramatically show up to work stating, "Vision's gone in my right eye. Neurologist did say it would happen." But then she would later forget about it. She would also like make up really bizarre lies of how she's never had Chick-fil-A before. And people are like, I feel like you've had Chick-fil-A before. But she's like, no, I've never had Chick-fil-A before. And then they would get her Chick-fil-A and then she would get sick from Chick-fil-A. It was just weird.
What?
Just weird. She also lied about being a natural blonde,
Oh,
which
gosh.
was just very, very clearly a lie. Taylor would complain too. She would complain about the size of her desk, how she needed it to be larger. She sounds like the worst person to work around.
I was about to say, she sounds exhausting as fuck. My gosh, shut the fuck up.
If her boss or supervisor was a man, she would wear low-cut cleavage shirts, lean over their desks like a weird comedy movie. They would have to tell her to stop. Her supervisors eventually had to call others into the room to have witnesses whenever they spoke with Taylor because it was
Just an HR nightmare. All right. So I guess when that happened, her leg work, she can see 20/20. Both eyes can see if a man walk in that. This is crazy.
just so obnoxious.
You told her to stop.
Once at work, she learned of a medical emergency that an employee was having, and she ran to the common area and screamed, "Get back! I'm a nurse!" She's not a nurse, but she's like, "Get back, everyone! I'm a nurse!" The ambulances arrived, rushed the employee to the hospital. Taylor texted all her friends about it and said, "I've been out of the medical field for a bit. That was the adrenaline rush I used to love. It's all prior knowledge and quick thinking. My employee is in the ICU right now." She'd say, "My employee is in the ICU right now."
Like she the boss?
Yeah. She also lied about her job position at work.
What?
To other employees at the company, she stated that she was the head of HR. She was a receptionist. She would go to parent-teacher conferences at her kids' schools, and in the middle of a big, giant meeting in the, I don't know if it's in the cafeteria, sometimes it's in like the atrium, she would jump up out of her seat and scream, "My patient's coding, I have to go, my patient's coding."
Bro,
and just like
this is
bolt out of there.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait, no, this is kind of sad. But like I don't like this lady, but like, yo, you know, like how there are some people who everywhere they go, they just leave like a lingering stench of their personality, and how that can like make a room stinky with bad vibes. Like I literally can imagine her just like scorching the earth with just noise. Like I've never used the term noise pollution, but I genuinely think that that's what this is. Like she literally is noise pollution. I don't really like saying that about people, and this is the first time I use this. I think it's very fitting to do that. But like, bro, oh my gosh. And like she just doesn't get embarrassed by it.
Sometimes if she straight up did not want to take care of their kids, she would drive her kids to someone's house and then have a few minutes of conversation. "Oh, I just came over to check up on you. My patient's coding, I gotta go." And then she would leave her kids.
The fuck?
And she wasn't just a liar. She was a shitty person. She had a friend who was pregnant, and Taylor straight up told her, "I wish you would have a miscarriage.
All right.
Because the pregnancy is making you so hormonal. I just want my friend back."
This lady is fucked up. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I wish I could list out every single lie that was in the court document.
You don't
it's
have
over
to.
100 pages long. I picked out the most bizarre lies that she told. A lot of her lies were basically financial fraud situations, and I don't want to get too bogged down in those details, but over 100 pages long, and like every single sentence is jam-packed with just fictitious statements.
What the fuck?
And those are the lies we know about. If I listed every fake bank account, fake person, fake email, fake disease, fake medical condition, we would be here for days.
How the fuck do you do that,
And when
bro?
Taylor met Wade Griffin,
Uh-oh.
the lies only got crazier. Taylor and Wade Griffin met in July 2019 at a rodeo, the Naples Rodeo and Watermelon Festival.
Out of this world watermelon.
This is just 3 weeks after her divorce from Hunter. And okay, I've never been to a rodeo, but this one, to put it simply,
Me neither.
is jam-packed with activities. There's horse riding, bull wrangling.
turkey legs?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah, the one that you don't get shaken off, or no?
Yeah, someone who is addicted to adrenaline and has zero fear mounts a bull, tries to stay mounted on the bull while it starts kicking and bucking to throw the rider off. American bull riding has been called, quote, the most dangerous 8 seconds in sports. Then there's steer wrestling, aka bulldogging. And I've never heard of this before, but it's when you're in this circular arena, you're on a horse and there's a cow in the arena. Basically a cow. It's called a steer. Okay. And the objective of the activity is to chase the cow around the area. And then when you're close enough, jump off the horse, jump onto the cow and tackle it down, knock it off balance.
Wow. Texas has, a lot of activities. Okay. Huh.
All the while wearing a cowboy hat.
Sure.
It's actually quite a dangerous sport in many ways to all parties involved. Then there's barrel racing, where riders get on horses and make infinity signs around barrels, and they have to go really fast.
Interesting.
Like an element of brain injury is in all of these games. But rodeos are pretty big in Texas, and it does seem like a lot of fun. A lot of people say it's a place of community, and there's a lot of fried Southern food and watermelons.
Yeah.
So side note, Naples is known for growing watermelons. It's a big part of the rodeo. There's like a dedicated watermelon shed.
Is there anybody? Okay. Is anybody afraid of like oddly shaped things, or is it like, or like those things like kind of make you like your brain think? Like for me, it's like watermelon shaped like this, and mushrooms like fungus. Like those are the types of. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that's called. That just made me feel, oh my gosh, I don't know what.
It's called the Melon Shed, where everyone brings their biggest, their best.
Why does it look like that?
Mullet. It's a mullet competition. I don't know why it's in the Melon Shed. Yeah.
They all show up with mullet.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the watermelon shed.
Got it.
And that's the melon contest. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where Taylor and Wade Griffin met. Well, not at the mullet contest, but the Naples rodeo. And Wade.
Do y'all like watermelon? I don't like watermelon at all. Like that. I don't like, I just don't, the concept, I'm not really a fan. Like, wow. I'm really like not the stereotype that they call like black people. Wow. Interesting. Like, I'm not really the biggest fan of fried chicken. I don't like watermelon. I mean, you could say I like cran grape juice. Like, that's my favorite, cran grape juice, but not like grape juice, you know? Like, it's just like, wow. I wonder where these stereotypes came from. I know why. I'm just talking out loud. That watermelon really freaked me out.
It wasn't immediately attracted to Taylor, but eventually he would fall head over heels for the oil heiress, Taylor Parker.
Gosh.
He even brought her home to mom. It was kind of like your Hallmark movie, Lifetime movie storyline. Taylor was going to inherit all the land that the oil...
Wait. Oh, that's probably why when they were talking about the uncle, that wasn't the uncle and it was Taylor, that's why that was put in the thing, right? Like, did Wade ever like express like he only likes her because of the money that she lied about? That would kind of make sense in my brain.
Was sitting on top of just by contracting out that land to giant oil conglomerates like Shell and Chevron. She'd be a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire.
Okay.
Who was also kind of like a nurse, you know? And then Wade was a maintenance supervisor for a roofing company, and on the side he sold wild hogs to a meat processing plant.
What?
So Wade describes himself as a country boy strong. Your Hallmark movie heiress meets blue-collar worker and falls in love in the small-town life. Even Wade's mom, Connie, she felt very drawn to Taylor. She just felt like, wow, she's got this really nice personality. She's very personable.
Wait till you find out.
And that's the thing with Taylor. The minute that she draws you in, you get tangled in the most bizarre intricate web of lies. My mom's trying to kill me. She hired a hitman from the Mexican mafia. What? Taylor convinced Wade that her mom, Shauna, didn't like that Taylor was becoming the chosen heir of the land from the grandparents.
Oh my gosh.
And that she was going to get the inheritance of everything that their family was in. So the solution in Shauna's mind was to just off her own daughter.
My dumb ass thought that shit was real though. Like, I really hate myself for that. I really hate myself for that. I am a gullible person. You know what? I stand in it. I stand in that. Fuck Taylor.
The goal of this lie seems to be so that Wade would be so concerned he would have her move into his house so he could keep an eye on her.
Oh, hell no.
Taylor moves in, and now Wade is in way too deep.
Man, hell no. I understand. Okay, one thing about me, I really like care about like families and like stuff like that. I say all the time, I'm always so serious about marriage, this is that and the third, but family and stuff like that, I take that very seriously. Bro, if your mom is trying to kill you, Not gonna lie to you. I don't really. But when did this lie come into play? Because that's a very sticky thing to say in like year 3, you know? Because I was literally about to say, you know what? I don't really want to deal with someone whose mom is trying to kill them. That sounds like a lot of stressful situations. I'll keep the police on deck for you, hypothetically. I'll keep the police on deck for you, but you're not moving into my house. I'm not about to be caught in a crossfire because your mom is trying to kill you because it's 1.7 bit.
He's slowly getting wrapped up in Taylor's world. She's convinced him that she's going to be an oil heiress very, very soon so that he can just use his money to buy things that they want and she'll just pay him back when she's like rich off of liquid gold.
Oh,
so
hell
they
no.
buy a $30,000 ATV, a $92,000 truck, and 20 cows, which is about $21,000. Wade even took out loans from the bank in his own name because he was that sure that Taylor was going to pay him back.
Nigga, what?
But would that really matter when they're about to be killed by Shauna? All that came were text messages. Taylor was constantly texting an accountant, an attorney, a Shell executive, private investigators, police, federal agents to track down Shauna and the hitman that she hired.
See, some people are like not as nosy as I am because I'm trying to see what the fuck this is. I'm going to find out if this is real or not. Because like what? You're not just finna just say all this shit to me and I'm not about to be like, can I see it too? Can I see this document too? There's a lot of people who aren't nosy in life. Cause what the fuck?
Frustratingly, whenever Wade was getting close to
I like how
getting
she
any
says
answers
frustrating.
about A, where the hell the money was, and B, about their safety because Shauna's still trying to kill them, the federal agent, friend, relative, banker, attorney, executive, accountant would either have to go into hiding, would end up framed and in jail, or they would die. They'd be killed off.
He believed this shit?
One by one, getting knocked off the plot. But don't feel bad because none of these people are real.
I mean, yeah.
Taylor spent a good majority of her day having full-blown conversations with herself and with Wade. Taylor would have conversations with herself, screenshot them, send them to Wade, and then have conversations about those conversations. Almost every single person Taylor ever told Wade about was fake. Wade himself admits he might have been blinded by love and the idea of an heiress paying for his dream facility, hog processing facility, and he couldn't see straight.
I guess.
But his family and friends could. Connie, Wade's mom, really liked Taylor in the beginning, but there was a situation. Taylor had purchased Connie a Nissan Altima, a $32,000 car.
Okay.
Connie is
pretty
over
high
the
car.
moon. This is like the sweetest gift. But after a few months, like a month, okay, Taylor calls her to tell her, hey, you need to drop the car off at my house immediately.
It was
and
leased?
Connie's like, wait, why? What's going on?
Was it getting
There's been a
repoed?
recall on that car. It's so dangerous. I got to bring it back.
What? No, she can do it. What the fuck? Like, what?
Connie rushes to give the car back, and for weeks, she heard nothing. She later calls the dealership directly to ask about it, and there had been no recalls on that car.
Fool.
That particular car, they're like, that one?
You gotta be
with
nosy,
that VIN
bro.
number? Oh, yeah, that's been repossessed, not recalled.
Nah, bro, you gotta be nosy, bro. There's no fucking way. Oh my gosh. Like, yo, now you duping my mama? Something about a damn recall. I'm looking up this recall. Why the fuck do I have to give it back to your house? This lady is crazy.
Meaning they stopped making payments on it.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
there was Pecan Point situation, which
Pecan
really
Point.
did it for Connie. So Pecan Point is a 6,400 acre
That is
hunting
beautiful.
ground with a lodge.
Oh.
It's about 5,000 football fields big. It's
Ew.
a quarter of the size of Disney World. Like it's a huge plot of land. And if you stand on one side, you cannot see the other side of it.
Okay.
It sits along the Red River that divides Texas and Oklahoma. It was on the market for $4.7 million. On Christmas Day,
4.7?
Taylor is spending time with Wade's family, and she starts passing out these little aerial view postcards almost of Pecan Point.
Okay.
And there's a pecan taped to each one. Taylor waited for everyone to look up at her confused, and she throws her arms in the air and she says, "We're buying Pecan Point."
No, the fuck
Now,
we not.
Connie's really confused because she was questioning Taylor all this time, and now she's like, wait, maybe I doubted her for no reason because
Man, if she tried to dupe you off a $30,000 Altima, you mean to tell me that they think she the heiress of the Salt clan, huh? You buying Pecan Point? Why? Like, why?
This is such a big, bold lie. Like, there's no one
Yeah, like
can
what?
fake buying a very real piece of land where you can easily just look up who owns the land, right? Realtor Rusty Lowe had seen some weird clients in his day.
Rusty Lowe?
But Taylor Parker was probably one of the weirdest. She was the heiress to the Blackburn Syrup Company, and she had just offered $3.5 million on Pecan Point. She said that she was in a rush, so they needed to get the transaction done ASAP. He thought that was kind of weird. People need houses in a rush. Nobody needs a 6,500 hunting ground in a jiffy.
Exactly.
When Wade and Taylor met up with Rusty to view the property, Rusty noticed their car didn't really match up with their financial situation, but sometimes really wealthy people like to be discreet and weird.
What was the car?
Rusty ran Taylor through the numbers and told her that he would need earnest money, about $200,000 in advance. It's just a payment to prove that the buyer is serious. It is not uncommon, even in residential settings, and it's not like you lose the money if the deal doesn't go through.
Okay.
Taylor's like, yeah, I'll have my accountants work on it and send the money over right away. She just kept asking for forms to sign. Side note, she kept signing everything. Taylor Parker Griffin. These are legal documents. She's not married to Wade Griffin. They're not even engaged. These are legal papers. You have to sign your government name on them. And she's over here signing them like a middle schooler. Taylor Parker Griffin, heart.
What the fuck?
So you think she did it for legal reasons, or she did it for like, oh, that's my husband?
I think she genuinely is so, like,
dumb?
far gone.
What? Like,
she doesn't care, whatever.
Yeah, she has no idea of consequences, like nothing. To even sign a legal document with not your government name, who thinks like that?
Yeah.
The earnest money never came through, and Rusty worked on a deal that Taylor never planned on following through with. She just sent him on a wild goose chase, or a wild hog chase, if you will.
I'd sue that motherfucker for that shit. Like, what? Why are you, like, why?
And having him email her advisors, bankers, lawyers.
Dog.
They were just all Taylor. But what's crazy is that Taylor was now going around telling everyone that she was the proud owner of Pecan Point.
Of course she was.
Taylor and Wade were actually regularly hanging out at Pecan Point as if they owned the place. I mean, I guess when you have that much land up for sale, nobody's going to be there to tell you it's not your land. The couple took pictures of themselves, posted it on Facebook for everyone to see. They brought in Wade's family, Taylor's children to view the property.
What?
And this is so sad. But Travis, the son, really wanted to be in the pictures. And Taylor just kept telling him no.
Why?
What? Why?
She just didn't want her son in the pictures.
The
And
fuck?
he cried.
What the
And
fuck?
Connie, Wade's mom, just thought it was just so gross. And then Connie received a mysterious phone call.
What?
They wouldn't say who they were, but they warned her about Taylor, and they said that she was a pathological liar. But if Connie ever told her son Wade, or Wade ever questioned Taylor, or made her feel like he was suspecting her, she would resort to her old ways.
What that mean?
She would blurt out, "I'm pregnant," to end the conversation.
Oh, damn. That is crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It might seem fucked up, but if somebody's like lying to me, oh, all right, okay, we'll deal with that later. Why are you lying? Like, sometimes I think that I am like impervious to stuff like this. This right here, I'm probably not impervious to. It's just like, okay, you're pregnant. All right, for sure. Let's figure out if you are. But I'm still talking about why are you lying? Why did you lie about this? Why did you just make your kid cry? Like, why did you make Travis cry? Like, why? You saying it's because you're pregnant? Okay. Well, I appreciate the explanation. But it's just like, I'm also blessed with the hindsight of literally knowing what is going to happen to this lady. So there's that. I really don't like this lady, bro. I really don't.
And she was. Taylor was pregnant with Wade's child. Or at least she said she was, okay?
I apologize for what I just said. I really just got Taylor who cried. Fuck. I really just got Taylor who cried wolf. That is crazy. I really just need to stop talking. What the fuck?
Connie tried to talk to Wade about all of her suspicions. Taylor doesn't have custody over her children. She treats them so horribly, but you want to have a child with her? And Pecan Point doesn't even make sense. I mean, I'm pregnant. To end the conversation. And she was. Taylor was pregnant with Wade's child. Or at least
So this is where we get to this very sad part of the story. Okay. Oh my gosh. What the fuck? I like how Stephanie just put this in here. I just noticed that and I was like, yeah, I need to shut the fuck up.
She said she was, okay? Connie tried to talk to Wade about all of her suspicions. Taylor doesn't have custody over her children. She treats them so horribly, but you want to have a child with her? And Pecan Point doesn't even make sense. I mean, have you really looked at the papers? Wade would argue that they've been there. They hang out there all the time. What is there to question about something like this? Connie would argue, well, what about her pregnancy? How do you know that she's actually pregnant? Because I have reason to believe otherwise. Have you even gone to a doctor's appointment with her? It's COVID. Only one person is allowed in the office at a time because of lockdowns. What is the purpose of all of this?
Oh, wow.
Okay, then her belly. Have you seen her belly bump? Wade would argue, no, she's not feeling great and is having a rough pregnancy, so we haven't been intimate. Besides, it's bad for the baby.
Okay, my question is for you all. So like in these moments, and you know, I am man. I'm a guy. The thing that's like kind of like not bothering me, but what I'm thinking about is the fact that Taylor is able to say she's pregnant, and let's say in the point where she's not. There's like a buffer of time that she's able to get this lie off. So I don't know specifics of like the trimesters and everything, but like say like, okay, I say I'm Wade. I'm like, okay, I'm believing my girlfriend that she's pregnant, da 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 da, and I'm trying to explain to my mom who's like saying these things about my pregnant girlfriend. In that time frame, it's like, wow, I'm supporting this person who's lying, and it's building a snowball effect of I'm not really, I don't think it's called like complacent in the lies because I'm genuinely believing her. It's like I'm making this web of my belief in my girlfriend and also kind of showing my mom that my discernment is not as clear cut as it should be, but also I am a man, so I wouldn't really know all the ins and outs of like pregnancies and stuff because I'm not a woman. And I'm thinking of like with my brain, it's like, wow, I would believe if my girl says she's pregnant. Like I would believe that. If my peoples are talking down about it, I'm like, no, I'm supporting my girl. Like that's what I'm supposed to do. But when we get to the point where it turns out she probably wasn't pregnant, then now I'm looking like a dumbass with egg on my face. Now I gotta go back to my mom with my tail tucked between my legs because I feel like a dipshit. When in reality, I'm not really a dipshit, but like I was lied to, and I'm sorry that I had to put you through this. I forgot the question that I asked, or that I was gonna ask. This is a really like fucked up situation. I'm sorry that these people had to come across Taylor.
Typically not true, but you know. And Wade's brother at the time had announced that his girlfriend was also pregnant.
Oh,
now
pregnant
everyone told
twins.
Taylor expecting her to be really happy. Because think about it, it's like me and Tiffany being pregnant at the same time. We'd both be so excited, like our kids are going to grow up together. But
right.
Taylor was not.
Of course
she smiled, and there was just something in that smile that seemed really terse. And she said, you guys should put your baby in an incubator. I should be the one to have the first Griffin grandchild.
The fact that she thinks like saying this is like cool is really boiling my blood. Like the things that she was saying to these people, it's just like, why are people letting her say these things? Why are they letting her say these things? This is really fucking rude.
Connie's like, wait, think about it. What kind of joke is that? You don't think that's weird for a mother who's pregnant to be making those types of jokes? Like, yeah, it's weird. Wade's mom would continue to argue. I mean, she doesn't even look pregnant. Taylor doesn't even look pregnant. Wade would hit back because of the tummy tuck. She's going to hold pregnancy weight differently because she had a tummy tuck before.
Okay.
To give you a little bit more context, this was not even the first time that Taylor was pregnant in her relationship with Wade. Before this, Taylor was pregnant with twins, but one day Taylor went to go help move some damaged farm equipment for a family friend of hers. A towing cable snapped, hit her in the stomach. She had to go to the hospital and had a miscarriage. It was all a lie.
Oh.
Connie was getting so upset that her son could not see that Taylor was this strange, larger-than-life sugar mama, and she told him, you have dollar signs in your eyes. You can't see the truth. when Connie would bring up things like the car being repossessed, like things that really had no answer, no response, Wade would argue that it's all Taylor's mom. Taylor showed him a text message from her mom to another one of her friends. So Taylor's making it seem like her mom, Shauna, is going out here and...
My mama would call her mama and see what's going on. Cause what? You're not finna just make me look like a fool and just lie to me and get the car repossessed. What? No.
Trying to ruin her life by ruining all relationships, all friendships. Her mom is this ever powerful, connected to dealerships, connected to everybody, can make things happen. And Taylor is just this dumb little girl who's falling for it. A text message sent to Taylor's friend reads, "See, I'm going to send Taylor into such a deep depression, she'll probably try to kill herself like she's tried before. But if not then, maybe I'll make Wade leave. That'll do the trick."
You know, the thing about this is like, I'm thinking like no mother would say something like this, but Taylor is a mother and she's saying something like this.
I've made Wade's family turn on her from pretending to be people like a dealership that didn't get paid. Does it click now to you people? Just
Also, she's over here speaking like a Disney villain. Like she's explaining all of her attacks. Like who the fuck does that? Like this is so cartoony, but it's not. But this is really serious because she got double homicide.
let her fall into a hole and not get out. Whatever point Connie made, Wade seemed to have an argument that he firmly believed in. Wade was going to stand by his girlfriend, Taylor, the mother of his child, and all Connie was doing was pushing her son further away and straight into Taylor's open arms.
Hey, man, listen, you should stand by your woman as much as you need to. But you also need to know if your woman is lying, you gonna look like a dumbass. But you stand next to your woman. Y'all be dumbasses together.
But the thought of Wade having a family with Taylor made Connie sick to her stomach.
Made me sick too.
You never want to be the one to doubt a pregnant woman.
Exactly.
Even Angela, the wife of Wade's roofing boss, thought Taylor was a bit strange. But Angela would fight the feeling for a really long time because she said, quote, "You just don't question if a mother is pregnant." But things were getting weird. Angela is a chiropractor, and Taylor insisted that she knew she was pregnant before a pregnancy test because her aura had changed color. Side
Her
note,
aura
if you
ring?
believe in auras, apparently, don't quote me on this, pregnant aura is silver and orange. But Taylor was like, yeah, I'm pregnant for sure.
Okay.
And then later, Angela would get these really graphic photos texted to her of just like fistfuls of blood. It would be like someone's hand and just blood inside, cupping blood. Taylor would cryptically text her, "Think it's not looking good now."
What the
She explained to Angela she was kicked by a cow and nearly lost the baby.
Dog.
These types of instances just kept happening. She's having
Bro, what would y'all do if y'all got a text with cup in blood? Like, what? Why? This is so bizarre. It's just bizarre.
early contractions. She's on medication for pain. She's being closely monitored. She had a blood clot in her lung. She's on blood thinners. The
My
blood clots are
gosh.
affecting her baby's heart. It's like Taylor was constantly on the edge of losing the baby. Angela was so close to calling her out on it, but one incident kept stopping her. One time, Angela had driven Taylor to the local hospital to get tested for the pregnancy. Angela waited in the car. Taylor went into the clinic with no purse, nothing but her tiny little wallet in her hand.
Okay.
When she came back out, she had a pristine piece of paper in her hand. So it had not been crumpled, it had not been folded.
Wow.
And it was proof that she was pregnant. And it was
What?
dated the date that she went in, and it confirmed her due date, and it was the hospital that she just walked into.
Bro, do you know what would have been crazy if she planted that before she called her to get to take her there?
Yeah, how did she do that?
That would be
But
crazy.
do we know how she did that at the hospital?
Bro, that would be
No,
crazy.
I was thinking about it. Maybe she went earlier. And
Yeah,
hid it
like
in a
what?
bathroom or something.
Cause what?
Yeah, I could see that.
Or
Why do you
like,
go
you know, we
so
are talking about Texans who are quite nice people. Maybe she was like, "Can I use your printer for a second?" But I don't know.
Or she brought.
I do agree. Texans are very nice people. Shout out to Texas, bro. The people of Texas, the nice ones. I know Texas is big as fuck, but my trips to Texas was very, very, very pleasant. I have a story for that. It was kind of funny, but Texas is cool. My visit was cool.
in someone else's. Oh, that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think hiding in there is probably the easiest. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was
probably.
really stuck on this detail too.
It's
I'm
just like what?
How? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
lying is one thing. This is like Houdini.
Yeah.
Taylor used Facebook like her own personal journal and diary, just
gosh.
constantly posting about her new struggles with pregnancy, morning sickness, how tired and exhausted, but how fulfilling creating a human inside of her tummy was.
Respect.
Taylor was going to name her baby Clancy Gale Griffin. She would post ultrasound pictures, posted about her contractions, all of these things. She posted about how she wanted to open up a restaurant with her 2 girls, Clancy and Emily, one day. She said, I'd love to teach them all my recipes and pass it down. A small town family operation, a place anyone and everyone can come to. We'll call it Pork and Pies. If the conversation about her baby bump not being that noticeable, even though she's pretty far along, came up, Taylor would laugh and tell people it's because she had a tummy tuck and because she's having a baby girl.
So good question. Is that actually true? Like, she talking about this damn tummy tuck, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know if any of y'all have had a tummy tuck. I don't know. If you did, that's your business. I was just like, is that like really true? Because I know there are some, apparently there's like, from what I heard, that some women don't even show. And it's like, okay. My question is a tummy tuck one of those times where someone doesn't show?
Stomach isn't as big because if you're pregnant with girls, you carry the weight on your hips, not your
Really?
stomach.
Is that true?
My sister had 2 baby girls and she would beg to differ.
Oh, shit.
But no one could call
Shout out to
Taylor
your
out
sis,
on
man.
it because she was just that confident. To give you an example of how confident she was, Taylor kept tagging a specific medical clinic talking about how they were giving her amazing care during her pregnancy journey. She actually used to work as a receptionist at that medical clinic.
Interesting.
These are her former colleagues.
Wow.
They know she hasn't been going in for pregnancy-related checkups, but they can't publicly say it because of HIPAA, patient confidentiality
wow.
laws. So they message her asking her to take down the post because they don't want their clinic to be associated with this lie.
Shit.
Taylor responds, completely disregarding that statement and saying, my mother Shauna is so dangerous. Please don't share my information with my family because they have no business snooping. This is a test post. Somebody has been sharing my information, so I'm sending out fake information to see which information gets leaked. Then the former colleague got blocked. It was just really bizarre. In a single month, Taylor blocked and deleted 76 people from her Facebook friends list, all people who wanted to know a bit more about her pregnancy.
76 people.
But Wade would always back her up. Wade would respond to friends. So there was a friend who was presumably making a gift for the baby, and Wade says, I'm glad you're willing to make something for us. Everyone else thinks we're faking a whole damn pregnancy. With the little one that's not even here yet, some people I once called friends are going to look so stupid in the weeks to come.
Damn, Wade. You come off as a good man, Savannah.
Taylor commented, couldn't have said it any better than that. Taylor texted a friend about the rumors that she's not actually pregnant, and Taylor texted, it isn't anything I haven't already heard. I'm going to pray for that ignorant ass family. God will take care of them. I'm not even getting started on them tonight. I don't have the time or the energy anymore. If people don't have anything better to do with their no working, sitting at home on their ass and gossip and tell people lies, go for it. Wow. Some of us are adults, work all day, and they look like complete idiots. If anyone wants to entertain them, by all means, it doesn't bother me. Wade will handle it. Just one word, idiot. Like I said, God doesn't like petty or ugly. If people gossip and do as they do, they are just as shitty as them. After the gender reveal party, Travis told his dad, Tommy. So Tommy is Taylor's first husband. Travis is her son. And he's like, Dad, I'm so excited to have a little sister. Tommy looks at him, confused, and says, you're what? Travis went on to explain the gender reveal party and how Taylor, his mom, was going to have a baby girl and how he's going to be a big brother. Tommy tries to sit him down and explain, you're not going to be a big brother. You're not having a little sister. But Travis is convinced. He's like, what are you talking about? Dad, I've seen her belly and everything. I felt the belly move. I felt the baby move.
Hey, bro.
Tommy sits down and explains, you're not going to be a big brother because your mom, Taylor, cannot get pregnant. It is medically and physically impossible now. Tommy did not explain this part, but Taylor no longer had a uterus.
Oh.
So medically speaking, she could not be pregnant.
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
Had any doctor checked her pregnancy, they would have seen 2 things in her medical record.
What?
The first being, Taylor had her tubes tied. So after her second pregnancy in 2014 with Travis, Taylor opted for a tubal ligation. Basically, she got her tubes tied, which is a pretty permanent form of birth control. The doctor ties the fallopian tubes together so the eggs cannot pass to the uterus to start a
Interesting.
pregnancy. It is reversible in theory, but it's pretty permanent. But okay, fine. If it's possible to reverse the procedure, so maybe she's pregnant. A year later in 2015, Taylor had her whole uterus removed, which you would need your uterus to get pregnant.
Right.
A year after getting her tubes tied, Taylor was having these crazy pains in her pelvis area and she was rushed to the hospital. Taylor had a benign cyst as well as endometriosis.
Oh my gosh.
Which is when tissue that is usually in the womb lining grows outside of the womb.
Oh.
So then when it breaks down, there's really nowhere for the blood to go and it's like just excruciating.
Oh my goodness.
Taylor had to be operated on pretty abruptly. But when the doctors went in, they saw a ton of scarred tissue and realized that there was a problem with Taylor's gastric sleeve and the operation, and it was just a lot. Wow. The doctors called Taylor's mom, and they said the safest thing to do is a hysterectomy, is to remove Taylor's uterus. Technically, we could try to do it without doing it, but we think this is going to be the safest. At this point, it was too late to wake Taylor up. She was already asleep. Taylor's mom made the decision for her. I mean, I think Shauna thought, well, she already has her tubes tied, so clearly she's not thinking of having any children.
I mean,
and
yeah.
she's not really a great mom. You know, it's not like she's so fulfilled by being a mom that she...
Okay, whoa. This is a very conflicting thing for me. And also remember, man, I would like to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about that? Like, let's put aside Taylor and all the things she's done for a second. Like, in this certain context, without Taylor and the murderous Taylor, like, what is there to do? Like, I'm thinking, I don't know, bro, because I'm not a mom either. Fuck, I can't answer. I don't know. I genuinely can't. I would like to know what y'all think. Like, what, if you were, or if, say, like, if you were in this situation, also, you don't have to answer because this seems like a very invasive question. I'm going off of ignorance and I appreciate any type of grace, please. It's just like, oh, these are one of those moments where you got to make a decision for somebody who probably won't want that, but you also got to do it on the fly and like the timing and everything. I would like to know what y'all say about that. Oh my goodness gracious.
Needs more kids. And this is her daughter's life she's talking about. Maybe she felt like, as a mother, I need to protect my daughter. They got to save Taylor and do whatever it takes.
Okay.
Shauna told the doctors, do whatever you think is best for Taylor.
That shit is actually crazy that the mom saved Taylor and she ended up on death row.
When Taylor woke up from surgery, her uterus was gone.
Fuck.
Taylor had a hysterectomy, which, yeah, you remove all or most of someone's uterus.
Wow.
And side note, think of the uterus as a big cocoon for the fetus. It can stretch. It's pretty large. So it starts off like the size of a plum. And then 6 weeks in, it's an egg. And then by week 24, your uterus is like the size of a soccer ball. And your baby is growing inside the uterus while it slowly expands. So you cannot carry a child without a uterus.
Shout out to women's bodies.
Taylor was unable to ever be pregnant again.
Fuck.
Taylor would actually try to hire a hitman to kill her mom after the hysterectomy. There were a lot of people.
Okay, so this is crazy, but so pretty much her lies are stemmed from real life things, like her friend with the MS and stuff. That was because her friend had it. She's saying her mom is trying to kill her. It's because she tried to hire a hit. Okay, all right.
People who knew about Taylor's hysterectomy and saw her post online about her new pregnancies. Tommy, the first husband, knew. Hunter, the second husband, also knew. When Tommy's mom...
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna tell Wade. I'd tell Wade. I'd be like, hey, bro, she got a hysterectomy. She's not fucking pregnant. And if you still believe it, you know what? You go ahead. I'm washing my hands of this. Literally. It's just like... And this is something that's like kind of Googleable. You know, I know if it's like two men talking and he's like the ex-husband and it's the new husband, you want to stand by your wife and everything. But like, you got one time out of me. Yo, she got a hysterectomy, cuz. Do you know what a hysterectomy is? Go ahead, Google that for me real quick. All right, I'm going to get up with you. All right. Okay.
Actually confronted her about it. She was just like, oh yeah, it was a total miracle. All my stuff grew back. I mean, it's crazy the way she lies, the way that she's like the stuff grew back. Taylor even
Grew back? What are you, reptilian? Is what?
told lies to doctors. She went to go visit her old OBGYN and told her that she's pregnant again. Her old doctor is like, yeah, there's no way, because her medical charts, I know that she's had a hysterectomy. But she didn't necessarily call Taylor out on it because, you know, childbirth and the ability to give birth to a child is super sensitive, especially if someone has lost that ability. So Dr. Ramirez didn't say anything. And she absolutely could not tell Wade or anyone on Facebook because that would be a HIPAA violation. So Dr. Ramirez just kept tabs on Taylor's fabricated pregnancy over social media. Taylor would even claim to have prenatal exams with Dr. Ramirez that never happened. Dr. Ramirez was even invited to the gender reveal party. If any of these people did try to call her out on it, they would be blocked on Facebook, and some of them would even get worse. Taylor once posted on Facebook, "Don't start a war with me. Not even Satan would want that."
You know what? You got it. You got it. You got it. All right, for sure. For sure. I'm going to mind my fucking business. I'm going to mind my business. Okay. You calling out the devil and shit when you got some devil in you? And you shouting out the devil and all that? Okay, you got it. You right. I'm pussy. You right. You right. My fault. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Taylor's search history tells us a lot about her thoughts around this time. So she is actively pregnant with Wade's baby, and there's allegations and rumors by family, loved ones, that she's not pregnant. So Taylor starts mass Googling and searching very specific odd things on the internet. She has grown very, very interested in home births and how exactly to go about registering a baby that's born at home.
Okay.
She's spending hours a day looking at birthing videos on YouTube, C-section videos, and more specifically, births that leave the placenta intact. This is so important, okay?
What?
Placentas are the organs that develop during pregnancy. And to put it very simply, if you're not pregnant, even if you have a uterus, you're not going to have a placenta in your body. It forms during the first few months of pregnancy. The umbilical cord is attached to the placenta. That's where all the baby's nutrients are, in the placenta. You actually have to give birth to your placenta after you give birth to your baby. Because a retained placenta, aka a placenta left in your body, can literally be fatal and kill the mom.
Oh my gosh.
So if doctors notice that you have not naturally birthed your placenta, they got to go in there and find ways to remove your placenta from your uterus. They can't just leave it in there. They will get sued for medical malpractice.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I learned something new today. And also, why is there a thing where people eat placentas? Like, what is that about? I'm going to Google it later, but I'd like to know y'all thoughts on that. Because I remember back in the day, there was like this YouTuber. I forgot his name. Like, he had like placenta tacos with his girl when she got pregnant. Never mind.
So that's very interesting. It feels like she's thinking ahead. She doesn't want doctors to go in there and realize she has no placenta. Matter of fact, she has no uterus.
Oh shit! This is Texas. She finna get the capital murder joint. She finna get the capital murder joint. Oh.
Information about local hospitals and reaching out to pregnant friends to discuss their due dates and their experiences. She's looking at cribs off of Craigslist, even babies for adoption through Craigslist. The search, quote, labs you run after you deliver. Another search, will eye drops make you seizure?
What?
Another search, how to make yourself throw up, 10 easiest and fastest ways.
Put your fingers
Taylor was in a frenzy searching for local maternity stores, OBGYN clinics, baby consignment stores nearby. For a normal pregnant person, maybe it's not alarming. For someone faking their pregnancy, it seemed like she was targeting any area there would be pregnant women or people with small infants.
Oh my gosh.
And more alarmingly, in her Google searches was also, quote, when you plan to kill someone charges. Quote, conspiracy to commit murder 1 defense.
I know her brain is probably like, it jumps through things, but still I'm like, okay, wait, how do you jump to that? How?
September 30th, Taylor goes to Paris, Texas Obstetrics and Gynecology. She walks in, bump and all. The receptionist has her fill out paperwork, but Taylor's teary-eyed. She's crying. The front desk is like, what's wrong? And she tearfully tells them, my husband is in the military and can't be here. Later, within the span of what I imagine to be like 10 minutes, Taylor changes her story and says, I can't do this right now. My husband is dead and I'm too upset to go through with this appointment because my mom's not even here. The nurse nods at her and offers her a sonogram, an ultrasound. So usually expecting mothers are really comforted seeing their baby and listening to their heartbeat. It makes them feel like they're not alone. Taylor refuses, which is odd. No patient has ever refused a sonogram in the 6 years that this nurse has worked here. Taylor seems to calm down, reschedules her appointment for October 1st, the very next day. She exits the clinic, but she sits outside on the bench on her phone. And at first, the staff, other pregnant patients entering, thought that she's texting someone. I mean, it's not really the most alarming thing to see a pregnant woman sitting outside of a pregnancy clinic.
She's scoping!
The staff think maybe she's too emotional to drive. But she sits there for 2 hours.
She's scoping.
She's on her phone and it looks like she's on a mission.
Oh,
she
no.
is watching other women enter and leave the clinic.
Oh, my
eyeing them
gosh.
like a hawk,
Oh, my
furiously
gosh.
typing
Oh, my
away at
gosh.
her phone. For 2 full hours, she was looking up license plates and searching up addresses of pregnant women
'Cause-
entering and exiting the clinic.
Wow.
Taylor the Predator was hunting for pregnant women and the Predator was adapting. Once she discovered that many of these women had husbands that lived at home, she switched gears and started searching for support groups for pregnant teenagers. But then she thought that would be too difficult too. She needed an easier target, someone that would let her in their home, someone that would trust her, someone nice and giving.
Yo, quick question, please. Oh my fucking goodness. What do y'all think about, like, okay, as somebody, and this is gonna be a quick question, I promise. As somebody who is a man, of course, you know, we know the man versus bear thing. How do y'all what do y'all feel about? And please, if you can be honest, I would like to know, like, what are y'all thoughts on women like this? Is this like a thing that is not really prevalent in your mind because of, I guess, statistics that you may read or statistics that you may hear, that more probability it's probably a man that's doing stuff like that? Like what is your, if you have a thought process about it? You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking like a broad question because obviously I would not have thought that this would be a possible thing. I can understand as to why women would choose the bear over the man because, you know, I did research on the whole thing, so I understand why they're saying this. But it's just like, you don't really hear about stories like this, and I would like to know the thought process of you all. Like, what is the, like, when you hear something like this, like, what do you think? Obviously, other than just like, oh, this is fucking terrible. He locked this girl up. Da 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 da. Like, is there like a internal fear? Like, okay, my question is, and I'm gonna be so serious, but also so sensitive and stuff like that. Do y'all fear other women? You know, like, cause sometimes, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, as a dude, nah, I'm not really like one of them dudes that think I could just kill every human on the earth. There are some men that I would probably be afraid of. There's women that I'm afraid of. You know? It's just like, I don't really see women being afraid of women on, let's say, the internet and everything. Like, it just, that energy doesn't come off to me. So I would like to know, like, what do you guys think about that? Or, like, do you all fear other women? And I would love to hear what y'all say, because this is like a very terrifying thing. This lady is already terrifying, but like the stalking and finding people and then just like jotting them down and all these other things, it's like she's skating past the fact that she's seemingly a pregnant woman. So like whatever she does is probably going to be like glazed over, but in that glazing over, she's plotting a fucking murder. Like, is that not scary? And I have an overthinking brain. I have a very overthinking brain. But I do want to listen more than I speak in this video. I'd like to know what y'all think about that, because that is something that I do think about sometimes.
Reagan, Reagan hired Taylor to do
Rest
her
in peace
wedding
to
photo
Reagan.
shoot. All the big recent milestones, Reagan had Taylor be the photographer for.
What?
Taking pictures of her engagement, her wedding, and I'm sure through her time with Reagan, Taylor knew how kind of a person she was. And a bit on Reagan.
And she cut her fucking baby out of her stomach. She fucking... Cuz. She brought you in to take wedding photos. You accepted. And you cut her fucking baby out of her stomach? Oh my gosh.
Reagan. So a few years ago, before Reagan's passing, before Reagan's murder, Reagan's stepdad was driving when this driver veers off the road, smashes into the side of his car. Her stepdad had a fractured left leg and pelvis, but his right leg was completely severed from the accident.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I'm not particularly a religious person, but Reagan's family are. And when I hear stories like this, I just have no idea how to even come up with like a non-religious answer. Reagan's stepdad was in the car with a friend of his who was in way better shape than he was. He's desperately trying to save Reagan's stepdad's life. The paramedics are on their way, but they're not here yet. He can't just sit there and do nothing. He's got to help, but he needs more people. And right at that moment, Reagan's mom happened to be driving by, stumbled upon the accident by pure chance, pulled over wanting to help, and then realized it was her husband, which one coincidence, fine. But then by another insane coincidence, another one of the family's closest friends happened to be driving down the exact road, and they thought, wait, isn't that Marcus's car?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's divine intervention to me. I understand you're not religious, Stephanie. We can have difference in opinion. That's divine intervention to me. Y'all may not think so, but guess what? We got them people here. That's all that matters, honestly. So, yay.
They pulled over to help and save Marcus's life. The family said it was like an intervention from God. Marcus was airlifted 90 miles to a trauma hospital, and he survived. He did need to get a prosthetic leg, though, and tons of physical therapy.
Oh my gosh.
But the whole family, they just have this really strong, positive outlook on life. Marcus would joke and post pictures of himself in the wheelchair wearing a t-shirt that reads, "I'm on my last leg." Like, these are the kind of people that Reagan and her family are.
Damn. And they had to come across this fucking devil. Nah.
They were the epitome of a Texas family. Big personalities, big crawfish boil feast, and like kind of big hearts. That's so cheesy, but you get what I'm saying. They were always going on these family fishing trips or going to these car shows together. I mean, they were just really thoughtful people. So Reagan, she always made sure to thank the nurses that were helping her stepdad recover. And it seemed like whenever anyone in the family was going through something, people would just rally together. They would push through as a family. And somehow at the end, they would just find a way to laugh it off. That's how it was when Reagan was pregnant and raising her first baby girl, Kinley. When Reagan was younger, I believe she was in her teens, she was rushed to the hospital. She had this very scary medical emergency. I think she was 18. Rushed to the ER. Insane back pains. She felt like she was being stabbed in the back. Perhaps kidney stones.
Oh my
Or at least
gosh.
that's what everyone thought.
Oof.
Until they discovered she was pregnant with Kinley.
Oh.
And she was so lost. She was so confused. She's like, "I'm so young. What are you talking about? I wanted to grow up and be a nurse. And like, what are you saying?" Her mom rushed to her side. And the minute that Reagan laid eyes on her daughter through the ultrasound, all of that pain was gone. March 5th, 2017, Reagan would give birth to baby Kinley, and the whole family would rally together to help Reagan. Side note, Kinley's biological father is not Homer, but Reagan and Caleb separated. And after their breakup, Reagan was a young single mom who ran into her old teenage sweetheart, Homer Hancock.
Oh, wow.
The two had been on and off throughout their early teens, but this time it just felt right. So they start dating. Homer was just as great of a stepdad to Kinley as Reagan's stepdad was to her. Kinley even called him daddy, but Homer was hiding a secret.
What?
He ordered a little t-shirt in Kinley's size and put Kinley in it. He had her rush to find her mom. And the words on the t-shirt read, "Mommy, will you marry my daddy?"
All right, come on, cuz. This is cute AF, bro. This is cute as shit, bro. What the fuck? I know when them damn chords of that piano come in on a Stephanie video, you gonna start tearing up. What the? All right.
And how could Reagan say no? So they started planning their wedding, and early on, Reagan already knew the theme that she was going for, which was sunflowers. She was obsessed with sunflowers, which, side note, sunflowers represent lasting happiness. Mm-hmm. And Reagan just wanted her wedding to feel very bright. They didn't focus on the grandness or the fancy venue. Homer wore a shirt with a pinned sunflower to it. Yeah. It's not the most classic groom look, but it just makes Reagan shine even more. She was wearing this beautiful strapless white wedding dress covered in these tiny sparkles. Aww. Her bouquet was sunflowers. All the floral arrangements, sunflowers. The mason jars on the tables with that orange sand had sunflowers in them. Mm-hmm. When the couple stepped up to the pastor to say their vows, Homer didn't just take Reagan's hand. He took his adopted daughter's, Kinley's, hand too. And as they walk off, husband and wife, sunflower petals are being thrown up for them. And one person is watching. It's not hard to be teary-eyed and smiley, but she's not cheering or clapping. She's watching.
All right. There's a lot going on today. Give me a second.
It's the photographer, Taylor Parker Morton. Taylor photographed their engagement photos and later their wedding. Even afterwards, Reagan went out of her way to leave a glowing review for Taylor. She wrote, "She's just the best." To which Taylor responded, "My favorite family." The two women, they were not close, but they stayed in contact via Facebook. And it wasn't until about 2020, Taylor kept reaching out to Reagan again to be like, "Oh my God, hey, you're pregnant? I'm pregnant too."
Girl, please.
And they're both pregnant with girls. Taylor was due September 22nd. Reagan was due November 10th. So Taylor was going to give birth first. And Reagan's telling people about her life and how after giving birth, she's going to go back to school to be a nurse. I mean, she's got her whole future planned out. Until the week of October 5th, 2020, there was a fire, a truckload of wild hogs, a bomb threat, a kidnapping, and a double homicide.
Excuse me?
4 a.m., October 5th, Taylor is shaking Wade awake. Wade shoots up in bed thinking the baby's coming right now. But no, the house is on fire. The plastic sheeting under the house is up in flames. Thankfully, Taylor was not asleep in the moment because she's so heavily pregnant, or I don't know, maybe God is watching out for them, she says, and their new baby. Wade is waken up by Taylor, and he manages to put the fire out. This fire would later be determined to be arson.
So she said she caused the... Okay.
And one prime suspect would be lying wide awake. After putting out the fire, Wade goes back to sleep, and once he's knocked out again, Taylor gets up, quietly sneaks off the bed, takes her phone, moves to a place where Wade cannot hear her, opens an app that changes the sound of the caller's voice, picks a low voice that sounds like a man, calls the Titus Regionus Medical Center, the local big hospital, the one that she told Wade she'd be giving birth in.
Okay.
She says 7 words before hanging up. There is a bomb in the hospital.
What?
She goes back to bed and shakes Wade awake again. "I'm not going to be induced today. There's a bomb threat at the hospital."
Hey, bro.
So she's past due. She's supposed to go to the hospital today to get birth. She's like, "I can't go. The hospital's on lockdown. The police have to evacuate the entire place and scour it for a bomb." Wade could not believe it. It could not be a coincidence that Taylor's mom hated her guts, and now so many terrifying things are happening close to her giving birth.
See, this is... oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. What? This... What the hell? What the hell?
An unexplained fire? A bomb threat? All of this when the baby's supposed to be born? I mean,
that doesn't even, like, happen.
Shauna. It's got Shauna written all over it.
What?
Wade goes back to sleep, and Taylor goes back to her phone and starts searching up Reagan. That was all October 5th. October 6th, the very next day, Taylor and Wade would have to go to Wade's parents' house to shower because the fire cut off all their water to their place.
Are you fucking serious?
Connie confronted her son once more. Wade was taking paternity leave in anticipation of Taylor's birth. But if she turned out to be lying and there was no baby, he's going to lose his job and he's already in debt. Out of frustration, Connie's looking dead in her son's eyes and says, "Wade, I don't think she's pregnant." He stormed out of the house. But he was getting a little tired of this. I think a part of them realized that his mom had never been like this before in his life. So maybe she's on to something.
Okay.
I mean, he has zero proof that she's actually pregnant. I mean, yeah, he sees a bump. He does hear her throw up when she had morning sickness. But he's never seen her bump without clothes. He's never seen her throw up. And yeah, he's seen ultrasound pictures, but he never went and saw.
You never seen her bump without clothes? Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Maybe she's not really with that. You know, consent is important. Huh. Okay.
Her get one. Wade told her on October 6th, I'm going to stand by you, but I'm going to need some proof. That night ended in a screaming match. Taylor spit at him. In a few days, you'll realize.
Oh, whoa. Nope. What the hell else was said? Excuse me? What?
I wasn't lying, and you'll feel so stupid and sorry. She was seething in resentment. Taylor stormed off. She's sending Wade text messages, screenshots of text messages that she's having with someone else. It's really weird. Yeah, she's texting her aunt. And her aunt says, don't worry. After tomorrow, everything's going to be fine. If Wade...
No, it's not. You just spit at me. Ain't nothing finna be nothing. Excuse me.
wants to always go against you, you should leave. I would not stay with someone who is so against you like that. Absolute 1,000% bullshit in my eyes. Taylor responds back, I'm on the fence myself with the whole thing. Promise you, they will give me a big fucking apology, every single one of them. I'm not even upset. Quite frankly, I don't have anything to say to them. And we now know that Taylor was talking to herself. October 7th, Taylor rekindles her friendship with Reagan. She goes to visit Reagan at her house. Taylor brought 34-week pregnant Reagan a gift and Starbucks when she went to visit her. They spent time at Reagan's catching up, and after Taylor left, Reagan posted on Facebook, at Taylor, so glad I got to see you today. Missed you bunches. Also, thank you for the sweet gift and Starbucks.
Okay.
Oh, freaking
This is
wow.
crazy.
Taylor liked the post and immediately Googled, if I delete a whole conversation on Facebook, will the other person still see the conversation?
Yes, you dumbass.
October 8th, the very next day, Taylor came back to visit Reagan, this time at around 8 p.m. Homer, Reagan's husband, was home, and so was their 3-year-old daughter. So the women sit in the master bedroom for about 2 hours just joking around. Homer comes in and he jokingly kicks them out because he needs to rest for work. But he did pick up bits and pieces of their conversation. Reagan, his wife, was affectionately jealous of Taylor's smaller baby bump. Even though Reagan was earlier in her pregnancy, she's only 34 weeks. Taylor's overdue. Oh, she just looks, so much less bumpy. Taylor told Reagan, I'm so utterly sick and tired of being pregnant. I cannot wait to be induced tomorrow and just get my baby.
Right.
While looking at Reagan.
Yes. Taylor left that night, and it's possible she did not sleep at all that night. The very next day, Taylor would send Wade on a wild hog chase so that she could do what she needed to get her baby home. Side note, even though Taylor's due date was supposed to be September 22nd, it's now October 9th. She's overdue. She's still heavily pregnant and can give birth any day, any second now. Yet, Taylor is making Wade get up at around 4 a.m. and told him to go sell hogs to the farmer that she made a deal with 4 hours away.
The fuck? Yeah, okay.
He dutifully got up, went to go sell 150 of his porky friends, which, side note, it would be a long drive to get to the buyer, but when he gets there, it's going to take a lot of time because there's so much confusion. The man who's supposed to be buying the hogs has no idea that he's buying hogs.
Fool.
And then Wade showed him text messages, and the buyer is like, I feel like I'm losing my mind because I never sent those text messages, and that's not my phone number, but that's...
I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I would be so angry. No, I would be so seething. You got me driving 4 hours. Literally, I have to drive 2 hours tomorrow for go to my girl's hometown. 2 more hours of that, and nothing's happening. And you're sending me out on this wild goose chase to go look like a dumbass 4 hours away. And now you killing somebody for a fucking baby?
This is my name and this is my address. I'm confused. It took a while for them to come to an agreement, but he ended up buying the hogs, I think, at like a third of the agreed upon price because he's like, that's not even me.
Damn.
The buyer never even planned to buy it.
Fool, cuz still bought it. Like, that is fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, shout out to Texas for that joint right there. He still bought it. Like, for his troubles, you know, that's what's up. Let me get them hogs. But I still drove 4 hours to look like a dipshit. Yeah, that's what's up. You know? You know what? Ain't nothing's what. Boy, my girl would have an earful if she put me on a wild goose chase like this.
Hogs at this point. It was just really bizarre. By the time that Wade made that 4-hour drive all the way back home, Taylor would be in the hospital and had given birth on the side of the road. So while he's out with the hogs, Taylor gets dressed and gets to work. She starts searching up a storm on Google. The topic, C-sections, preterm babies.
Gosh.
She watched a video of a physical exam of an infant born at 35 weeks.
Okay.
The doctor went over how a baby born before their due date can have sensitivity to temperature changes and breathing problems, but the video confirmed a baby born this early can survive. But interestingly, wasn't Taylor's baby overdue?
Yeah.
Why is she looking up a baby born at 35 weeks?
We know why.
Because Reagan is 35 weeks pregnant. October 9th, Taylor shows up at Reagan's house at 7:30 in the morning. We're not sure what excuse she uses to show up, but perhaps she has to borrow her shower because her shower was broken. Either way, it seems clear that Reagan would be someone that would graciously extend her hospitality to a friend. Around 8:30 a.m., Reagan's husband, Homer, was at work and he started receiving these bizarre text messages from his wife. Remember? She's like texting him things like, this isn't working.
Right.
I just want to be happy, but it's not working.
And that's
I
not
love
her.
you."
Right.
He's confused because it sounds like someone who's trying to exit, and it's very clear that Reagan would never do that. He's trying to text her back that he loves her, but she doesn't respond, and he starts getting anxious. Like, what if she's giving birth? What if something happened? He calls Reagan's mom to go check up on her, and he himself starts driving home. And we know during the span of that car ride back, Homer's entire life would change. He would lose his wife and his baby girl, Braxlyn.
Rest in peace to Reagan.
When Taylor and the baby arrived at
And
the
Braxton.
hospital, doctors tried everything to save Braxlyn. They
Braxton.
were able to get a pulse in the ambulance, but the pulse was dying. The pulse was not enough to keep her blood pumping sufficiently to her organs, and the baby needed a machine to breathe. Senior doctors concluded Braxlyn had suffered severe brain damage and her condition was, quote, not compatible with life. She passed at 1:22 p.m. with a nurse holding her hand.
Oh my god.
She was 7 pounds, and even at just 35 weeks old, she would have been a normal, perfectly healthy baby girl.
Fuck,
Experts would later state if Braxlyn had a normal delivery, she would have had a 99% chance of survival. Autopsy results determined Braxlyn died from, quote, homicide from a traumatic extraction from the uterus in association with maternal homicide caused by blunt force and sharp force trauma. This will be an important distinction later, but experts believe Braxlyn was born alive. She was not stillborn, and that would mean that the authorities were looking at one of the worst double homicide cases that they have dealt with in a very long time. Authorities had a murdered mother and baby, and now a woman in the hospital claiming that was her child. Officer Dansby takes a very soft approach with Taylor. There is body cam footage of this. He lets Taylor tell her lies about how she gave birth in the car, which, side note, he gently asks about how she got to the hospital, if she drove herself, and she gets really triggered, and she states, no, an ambulance brought me. Life med.
So what happened this morning? Did you just go into labor on the side of the road?
No, me and I was supposed to ride with my fiance, and we sell, we own a hog buying facility, and we were gonna come through here, but I was having contractions and stuff and wasn't feeling good, so I stayed at home and told him we would just meet here after he dropped the hogs at 7, and he got tied up. I mean, he's on his way.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of things in life that, like, me even seeing this case, I'm just like, huh? What? Like, huh? Like, there's a bunch of things in in your orbit of what you think life is supposed to be, and when something happens that is so left of what some normal shit is, like it's like your brain can't even compute. And it's like sometimes I like to think of what I would do as the right thing to do in a situation, but something like this is just like, I don't know what to say. Like literally, I don't know what to say. And me trying to form a thought to make cognitive sense of what to do in this situation is gonna make me look even stupider than I did when I believed this fuck ass salt story. You mean to tell me that this lady wanted attention so bad that she would cut the fucking... I just can't even like I feel myself getting angry. I feel myself getting sad, and I'm so confused at the same time. I got a very bad headache right now.
Now how did you get here?
Bro, she went to her house at 7 a.m.
Drive yourself?
No, an ambulance brought me.
You?
Yes,
okay.
like that.
Oh, okay.
But Officer Dansby starts pushing now. Okay, but here's the deal. I'm just going to be upfront with you. We know that you've had a hysterectomy some time back, and now you've claimed to be pregnant for a while, but you really weren't. So we're trying to figure out where this baby came from. But you didn't give birth this morning. What do you mean? That's what I said. You didn't give birth this morning. So
what I mean is you going to jail. That's where you're going. You're going to jail.
Happened.
The fuck?
I just told y'all what happened. What's the doctor gonna find when he comes in and looks at you? Because he can tell. They can tell in about a second if you just gave birth or not. Okay then.
Okay.
Taylor, we found a woman on the side of the road and the baby was removed from her body. And then you showed up with the baby and you've had a hysterectomy. There's no way you could have been pregnant, even though you've been telling people for a while that you've been pregnant. Which, side note, the officer did not make a mistake. Reagan was found in her home, but sometimes officers will lie about certain details because if you were involved, you'll correct them. If you weren't involved, you don't know if they messed up a detail or not.
Wow, okay.
Taylor takes the bait and she passionately says, I didn't hurt anybody on this side of the road. Otherwise, people would be like, what are you talking about? Who's on the side of the road? What are you? She's like, I did not hurt anyone on the side of the road.
Taylor, I found a woman this morning on the side of the road, and her baby has been removed from her body. And then you show up with a baby, and the information is you've had a hysterectomy. There's no way you could have been pregnant. Even though you've been telling people for a while you've been pregnant. There's no way you could have been pregnant. And
I didn't hurt anybody on the side of the road.
well, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying.
Bro, you know what's funny about this? Like, sometimes people will use, like, a dumbass statement as, like, a sign of guilt. Because it's like... Because I can imagine somebody who's, like, innocent saying, like, what? On the side of the road. I didn't hurt anybody on the side of the road. But, like, I could see somebody else, like, attaching that. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, she was literally just like... I didn't hurt anybody on the side of the road. Like, what the fuck?
And that there's a woman that had her baby removed from her body. Her body's found on the side of the road. I didn't say you did. I just want to know what happened, where this baby came from.
Taylor goes silent for a minute. The officer is gently asking her, who is the lady? Do you know who she is? I don't know what lady y'all are talking about. The police keep confronting her with the facts. There is a deceased mother and Taylor took her baby out of her, which caused her to die. The police continue. Most people are going to assume the worst. They're going to assume that you're an evil person and you just butchered this lady and left her to rot on the side of the road so that you could steal her baby. I just don't think that's the case. You don't seem like that type of person. I didn't kill anybody. Where did this baby come from? We're all past that, Taylor. We're past that. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't kill anybody.
Where did baby come from?
Was she alive when you left? I wasn't with anybody. I wasn't with her. For a while, she sticks to her story some more. And then the police say, look, Taylor, the DA can prove that you murdered that woman.
Yeah,
How
like
heinous
what?
is that? You know, everyone's happy. She's having baby showers. Then somebody comes along and cuts her damn baby out of her gut.
Like, this shit
That's
is
what we got
crazy.
right now. That's the point where we're at. We're past this nonsense about I wasn't there. I didn't kill anybody. We're past all that. We know it. We know you did it. There is no doubt whatsoever.
Right now, the DA down there who I've talked to believes that you're a cold-blooded killer and that you plotted for the last 8 months to murder this woman and steal her baby. And right now, the evidence is there. They can prove it without a shadow of a doubt that that's what happened. They can prove that you murdered that woman. How heinous is it? Some woman, you know, everybody's happy, they're having showers, and then somebody comes along and cuts her damn baby out of her gut. That's what we got right now, and that's what you need to understand. That's the point where we're at. We're past all this nonsense about I wasn't there, I didn't kill nobody. We're past all of that. We know it. We know you did it. There's no doubt whatsoever.
Taylor then whispers she didn't mean to hurt her. Are you sad that she's dead? Taylor nods. Is the deal you just wanted a baby so bad that it kind of overpowered your brain and everything?
Fool, what?
My head's been hurting. I had a stroke in 2015.
Uh-huh.
You didn't mean to hurt her. Are you sad she's dead?
No, you not.
Is it the deal you just wanted a baby so bad that it just kind of overpowered your brain and everything?
My head's been hurting.
Your head's been hurting.
I had a stroke in 2015.
Taylor tells the officer Reagan told her to come over that morning to use her shower. She said, I remember pulling up. Did she say something that made you mad or something? She grabbed a hold of me and told me I was a liar. We fought back, we both hit each other, and then she hit her head on the table. She hit her head on the table? That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes stuff happens. I didn't move her. I just really wanted the baby. They took it away from me. Implying the doctors took it away from her. Also, calling the baby it. I understand that. Well, that shows what a good person you are, Taylor. They took it away from me. So you tried to save the baby. So you cut the baby out like a C-section? I don't remember. I just remember trying to save the baby.
You fucking remember. Stop lying. But you can't stop lying.
Taylor starts breaking down and panicking. Oh God, oh shit, oh God, oh God, shit. Something's wrong with me. I don't know why I did it. I don't know what's wrong with me because I've never been a bad person.
You've been a bad person for a while.
Hit each other.
Wow.
She hit her head on the table.
She hit her head on the table. Okay. That's okay. Hey, that stuff happens sometimes, you know?
I didn't move her.
You didn't move her. Okay. So she was still in her house? Okay. She, when she hit her head, did you think she died? Did you was trying to save the baby?
Yeah. And I really wanted the baby.
I understand that. That's okay. Well, and that shows what a good person you are. So you tried to save the baby. So did you I guess you got the baby out of it. You did like a C-section on it. You don't remember?
Yeah,
So
you
how
do.
Did you go from her laying there with her head hit to you having a baby in your hand?
Just remember trying to save the baby.
Later, Taylor would clean up her story. She was actually a hero. Taylor states that when she showed up at Reagan's house, Reagan was hollering and screaming at her, pulling her out of her car, forcing her, dragging her into the garage. The two get into an argument. Taylor claimed that she can't really remember what it was about, but they're fighting in the garage. Reagan grabs onto Taylor and continues the physical fight into the house. Taylor stated at this point she's just trying to leave, but Reagan is dragging her deeper and deeper into the home.
Right.
She said Reagan started grabbing whatever was in grabbing distance and just started hitting herself on the head with it, all the while taunting Taylor that she's going to be blamed for all of this.
Hitting herself?
Out of fear for Reagan's safety, but also her own, Taylor slammed Reagan onto the floor to get her to stop, but Reagan hit her head on the coffee table on the way down, and she was dying. And suddenly, Reagan was dying quietly on the floor, and nothing mattered anymore. She just looked at Taylor, and one final act of love. Reagan knew she was going to die. She asked Taylor, "Get my baby. Save my baby's life." She begged, "Get her out of me. Get her out of me." Taylor carried around a medical kit. Remember? She told people she was a nurse. Well, now she's telling authorities that it was because she goes hog hunting. Anyway, she reaches for the scalpel and stated that she cut Reagan's belly open like a C-section video. She took baby Braxton out, put the scalpel down because she really only brought it in to save the baby anyway.
What?
Taylor claimed that Braxton was not breathing. She turned Braxton over and pat her on the back like you would a newborn. And it was clear the baby needed medical attention. Taylor stated Reagan looked at her and told her to go and get baby Braxton to the hospital. Taylor stated Reagan was still alive when she ran from the house to save Braxton's life. It was a tragic accident, but Taylor was a hero, doing anything that she could to save baby Braxton.
So she just couldn't even just think in the moment all those like knife stab wounds. Sure.
But the thing is, the scalpel was broken off in Reagan's neck.
Oh my
Authorities
gosh.
obviously do not believe a single thing that comes out of Taylor's mouth.
Fuck.
This is their believed version of events. This whole hero story just doesn't make any sense. The injuries to Reagan were beyond extensive. She was hit over the head with both sides of a claw hammer. She had been slashed over 100 times with a scalpel. She had been beaten with a mason jar full of sand that weighed 4 pounds. That's as much as 5 cans of soup.
Fuck.
She had 5 skull fractures and a broken nose. She may have been strangled, but it was hard to tell because her throat had been slit so violently that the scalpel broke off in her neck. She had been cut from hip to hip. Her uterus had been pulled out and cut open. There was blood in 5 different areas of the house, indicating that Reagan fought back and fought back hard. One of her fingers was dislocated. The tip of another was nearly cut off.
What the fuck? What?
When authorities looked at the placenta Taylor had shoved into her own pants, they found 2 pieces of Reagan's fingernails broken. They determined this could only mean one thing, that Reagan was alive when Taylor cut her open and took her baby out.
What the fuck, dude? Oh my gosh. What the fuck, bro? Nah, bro. Nah, son. Nah, cuz.
Holding on.
Reagan had tried everything she had to save her baby. Taylor explained this whole thing as she wanted to help Reagan save her baby. But for at least 35 minutes, Taylor did other things than help save Braxton. She tried cleaning up the house. Water was used to try and clean up some blood. She got in the car, drove a bit away, and it's speculated she texted Homer from Reagan's phone all those cryptic messages and then tossed Reagan's phone to dispose of it because it hasn't been found. Cell phone data shows Taylor leaving Reagan's house with Reagan's phone on or around 7:52 a.m. Taylor placed a 911 call at 9:36 a.m. That's a full hour and 42 minutes that Taylor had baby Braxton and did nothing to help her except possibly give her amateur CPR, which could do more harm than good if you don't know what you're doing. It's clear that Taylor prioritizes covering up her crime over saving Braxton's life. Even though she tries to claim that this is her baby, it seems like dead or alive, Taylor wanted a baby. She doesn't care about being a mom. She doesn't care at all. She just cares about showing others that she was telling the truth.
What the
Another
fuck?
thing to note, the struggle happened in several rooms of the house while 3-year-old Kinley was there. Authorities believe that Kinley saw a portion of the attack. Taylor even reported that Kinley came out of the room, and Taylor claimed she yelled at her to go back to her room. This would be a death penalty trial. Taylor pled not guilty. She had the audacity to sit there and smile during court proceedings, but even worse than that, she wore a mask during a good chunk of the trial.
Why?
The mask had sunflowers on them. It is so sickening and so calculated.
What?
Reagan's family and friends had to look at Reagan's murderer wearing a tribute to the victims that she killed. It's almost like she wanted to be perceived as a victim. She's sticking by her story of, no, I did everything to save Braxlin for Reagan. There was just zero remorse from Taylor. A counselor who spoke with Taylor stated that it's like talking to a brick wall in terms of remorse. Like, no remorse at all.
This is one of them points where it's just like, oh, all right, for sure. You saying whatever you saying, you are getting the library thrown at you, and you're going to be on death row. I'm not somebody that really likes death row and stuff like that. Cause I'm not turning my head at this shit.
The counselor also stated, Ms. Parker is smart and conversational and almost appears to thrive while being incarcerated. She can construct and do things and manipulate and get people to do things for her. It's frustrating to watch. There were conversations about her upbringing because Shauna, her mom, would state that Taylor had a perfectly normal upbringing, nothing out of the ordinary, but Taylor and even her brother would argue otherwise. Taylor's brother Zachary would later state that their biological father, Mark Morton, and their mom, all they did was fight.
Wow.
In front of the kids, didn't matter. All they did was fight, screaming matches. Mark Morton, the dad, would also allegedly frequent a drug house where you can buy things like fentanyl and cocaine. Okay. And if the kids were with him, he would just bring them in.
That's fucked up.
Taylor claimed that she was 13 when she was brought to one of these drug dens and was essayed by a full-grown man. She claims that she was so scared she ran straight to her grandmother, Peggy. Peggy is a nurse at the Titus Medical Center that she did not want to go to. But Taylor said that she felt like she could trust Peggy. She told Peggy, but Peggy being Mark's mom, she's like, okay, do I choose between my granddaughter or my own son's reputation? Peggy, the grandmother, convinced Taylor to not report the essay. We don't know if this story is true, especially because Taylor has been known to be a pathological liar, and nobody else has corroborated the story, and it was reported by Taylor after she was arrested for double homicide. So a lot of people actually do cast doubt on this story. But I think if this essay story is true, I think that the adults and the system failed Taylor when she was a kid. And I imagine that it had long-lasting impact on her as an adult and probably still does if this is a true story. But I think that's a separate story from what she did to Reagan. Maybe
Agreed.
It gives us more insight on someone's development and psyche, but I don't think that it can be an excuse to explain away a crime. Some studies have shown that there is a link between essay at a young age and compulsive or pathological lying.
Okay.
But again, this is not justifying Taylor's actions, just giving you all the details of what went down.
Right.
Later, Shauna would state that Taylor's behavior only got strange after her hysterectomy, and it felt like Taylor's morals were, quote, skewed after the operation.
Uh-huh.
I could not find any academic studies on if there were moral changes after a hysterectomy, so we can just consider this an anecdotal story. Now, the defense tried to get the death penalty off the table by trying to get the kidnapping charges dropped.
Why?
Because Taylor was now being tried for the murder of Reagan, the kidnapping of Braxlin, and then the murder of Braxlin. The defense argued that Braxlin was born deceased and you cannot kidnap someone that is not alive.
So wouldn't that be like, what is it, misuse of a corpse or something?
So much of the trial was surrounding the argument, was Braxlin alive or not, when she was
What?
ripped from her mother.
What the fuck?
When Taylor felt like that wasn't working, she wrote a letter to the FBI.
Why?
She wrote a letter offering up her services. She claimed that she had skills such as, quote, running the jail, being great at manipulation, and playing sexual mind games with men and women, and could consult the FBI.
All right, cuz. All right.
Wow,
All right, bro. Nah.
Yeah.
Wow, this is something.
The jury determined she was, and Taylor Parker was sentenced to death November 9th, 2020. She
Okay.
is the 7th woman to arrive on Texas's death row. The average time for a death row inmate to wait for their execution is 12 years, and Taylor is keeping very, very, very busy. Taylor Parker was looking for a sugar daddy in prison. She wrote in one email to a friend, basically hunting for loaded inmates that were now released from prison. She wrote, I need a sugar daddy to load me up some money on this damn thing. Like her commissary account. I hate this. I need a pen pal. I need some men to talk to. It's boring as hell and lonely. In prison, Taylor had at least 3 boyfriends. One of them she sent a lot of explicit notes to. In one, she wrote, I thought of that this morning in the shower. parentheses, dirty mind. I'm going to snuggle down with my book if you want to keep me warm at night. I definitely wouldn't mind a poke. Just saying. I'm very reserved and I'm one to leave our private bedroom to us time only. But honey, I'm a freak. Just saying. You and that manly mind. LOL.
Stephanie, you did not have to say that. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Another one reads, I told her I was so frustrated that I'd be humping the light poles all the way home. When Taylor wasn't focused on her boyfriends, or I believe she also had girlfriends in prison, she zeroed in on another inmate, Hannah Alexander Hulander. Hannah was an inmate who had a hard time saying no to people. She was in prison for burglary, possession of a weapon, and drug possession, which, yeah, it's not great, but she really wasn't a criminal mastermind.
Yeah,
she was actually very easily influenced by people and wanted to feel accepted by whatever shady group of friends that she fell into.
Okay.
Then in prison, she met Taylor Parker.
Oh, gosh.
Taylor Parker convinced Hannah to sit down and write a confession to the police that she killed Reagan and Braxton. Yeah. The story goes, Taylor was at Walmart when she got a call from Wade, her boyfriend, to go home and lock the puppy up. On the way home, quote, the bandits, I don't know, I guess a group of organized criminals, knocked
Who the fuck called? You know what? No.
Taylor
no more
out,
questions. No more
drugged
questions.
her. Next thing she knew, Taylor woke up in Reagan's house. The bandits had beaten and stabbed Reagan, leaving her to die. Reagan was awake and begged Taylor to save her baby, so Taylor gave her an emergency C-section using what she learned from raising cattle. Then Taylor held Braxton up to Reagan's face and said, "Look, a beautiful baby girl." Taylor was happy that Reagan got to see her baby before dying, but now Taylor would take the fall while the bandits got away with everything. Taylor made up a long, convoluted story of drugs and surveillance to supplement this story. In the end, nobody bought it, but it still seems like Taylor had intention of leaving prison. Guards found a color-coded floor plan of the jail in her cell. She was trying to escape.
What the frick?
Yeah. There were
All
memorials
right,
set
bro.
up around Reagan's home.
Rest in peace
There
to
were
Reagan,
sunflowers
man.
everywhere. The family held a memorial service for Reagan and Braxton. There were wind chimes sounding in the breeze. There's these bright, beautiful, colorful flowers. So many sunflowers. And it was just so serene and bright. It suited someone like Reagan. Wade and Connie, Wade's mom, they feel guilty even though they technically weren't part of the crime. They feel guilty for not being able to see it or stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, Taylor's first husband, is raising their son, Travis. I'm not sure where Emily, Taylor's daughter, is, but unverified sources have stated that she's with Shauna. Homer Hancock is rebuilding his life with his adopted daughter, Kinley, Reagan's little girl. In her victim impact statement, Emily, Reagan's little sister, stated to Taylor, "My only biological sister, you need to understand what you took from me and my family. No more celebrating her birthday. I was barely 19 when I got the call my sister was gone. She will never be my maid of honor. If I visit my sister, I have to go to a graveyard and see a headstone. I will never get a text or phone call from her ever again." Jessica, Reagan's mom, looked at Taylor and said, "She, Reagan, was one of the very few people on this earth who cared about you. Now who cares about you?" And that is the story of the youngest inmate on Texas's death row. Please stay safe, and I will see you guys on Sunday for another episode.
What possibly could have Netflix left out about this? I don't know. And I don't know. I don't really think I'm going to like look at anything about it. Maybe like a synopsis or something. I don't know, because this is a very, very devastating case. Taylor is disgusting. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, and it, I don't have any words. So I don't have any words for Taylor in terms of. I feel like there needs to be something to protect good people from bad people. But like, there's this thing that you shouldn't like praise good people for being good people because you're supposed to be good. I think I'm slowly thinking like nowadays, since like there's all these stories of so many messed up people, that appreciating good people for being good people is probably the least that somebody can do. Like, even if it's the bare minimum, because it's really devastating hearing that these good people or people who just want to live lives the way that they want to come across these very, very evil people who just lie in wait and do all these things just to cause harm for whatever they want. Like, I feel like And it's probably ideal again, but I feel like there should be something in place somewhere, sometime, that you get more than just this quote unquote justice. But I think that's just a thing that's just not going to happen. Reagan didn't deserve this. Baby Braxton didn't deserve this. I don't think the people that were in Taylor's life deserved all these fucking lies. Like, it's just all of this, and it's really crazy. It's just really crazy. And it's like, people, we don't have, I don't know, like, this world is evil. This is one of the most fucked up stories I've heard. And like, the thing is, it was just obnoxious and kind of funny in the parts where they were talking about how crazy Taylor is and how much of a liar she is. But once we got into that murder, it's just like, bro, I don't have any words. And she's still doing this shit. This fucked me up. This really fucked me up. I ain't gonna hold you. This fucked me up. You didn't deserve that, bro.